time for Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. Rams football on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. It's powered by the official voice of Rams Athletics, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Mount Vernon Rams football is also presented in part by Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. Tyler Toyota and Tyler's Buick GMC. Totally Tyler's. The Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Winning Edge. See what they can customize at winningedgeusa.com. Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac of Mount Vernon. And also by Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Schmidt Ford of Salem. People's National Bank. Ford Square in King City Chrysler. You can count on us. And Bird Watson Drug of Mount Vernon. 2 locations to serve you better. We take you to the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's, where Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski are standing by for the Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Mount Vernon Rams football starts now.
And good evening from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium tonight. Mount Vernon Rams football here on South 7 Conference Rivalry Week. They have the Centralia Orphans. It's pink out night. It's senior night. It should be a dandy here tonight in the King City. Good evening, Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow has the video at WMIXsports.com, and Hunter Schrader taking care of this simulcast on AM 940 and 94.1. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big game tonight for both of these teams. For the Mount Vernon Rams, obviously an emotional night. You have Pink Out Night, obviously raising money for Susan G. Cohen for the Cure tonight. For the Orphans, meanwhile, they come in. They still have postseason hopes on the horizon. Obviously have to get a win here tonight, have to get a win next week, as they are not going to have the playoff points otherwise. So a big night for both of these teams in South 7 play.
Centralia right now, 2-28. They've got 4 wins this year, all against teams with losing records. And the combined record of those 4 teams right now with the forfeit of East Alton Wood River next week is 2-27. The record is 0-3 against teams with winning records, losing to Althoff, Cahokia, and Marion the last 3 weeks. They'll have Mount Vernon tonight, who's 2-5, and then at Muscuda next week. Going in tonight, the Indians are 4-3. So it's not an easy road. Obviously, with only minimal playoff points, the Orphans have to win 2. Their playoffs begin tonight. They need 2 wins to get in if they want to be considered to a week from tomorrow night as far as playoffs go.
Call 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS. Next time you need Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Ask about free premium detailing for life your car. Next time you have collision repair work done at Landers Collision Centers, that's Mount Vernon and Salem. The Mount Vernon Rams football tonight, Centralia Orphans, South 7 Conference Rivalry Night. We'll talk a little bit about the conference games this week. We'll talk a little bit about some of the other games going on around the region here tonight. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the interview with Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shannon. We talked with him Saturday morning, as we do each and every week. We talked about the emotions coming into tonight. Seniors, this will be the last time they put on a Rams football uniform at this stadium. It's also Pink Out Night. We'll tell you more about all of that and more coming up. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations, 7 ATMs, and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
Welcome back to your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers, fix them all. Check out their expanded facilities in Mount Vernon and Salem, or see for yourself online at landersauto.com. The Mount Vernon Rams and the Centralia Orphans coming up here in just a few minutes on WMIX 94.1, AM 940. Or watch us online at WMIXsports.com. It's senior night. It's Pink Out Night. Of course, all the emotions in full effect here tonight for the Rams seniors. We talked about that Saturday with Jared Shaner, head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams, on the Saturday Sports Show. Asked him about the disappointment, of course, from last week's loss against Cahokia, leading into the emotional week to come against the Centralia Orphans. Here is that interview with Jared Shaner from this past Saturday. We hear from George Anderson. Of course, I know last night, obviously, not the way that you wanted it to go, but I thought there were bright spots for the Rams, and really a team that trailed 22-0 at one point, came back, scored 16 unanswered points. I really thought you'd have to give a lot of credit to Mr. Green there. 90-yard, I believe it was, kickoff return for a score. That really seemed to be what ignited the team last night.
Yeah, it definitely was. We talk all the time with the kids about, when things aren't going well, that keep plugging along, and then we challenge guys to be the match, be the spark that gets us going, and the kickoff return team, and Jesse did that last night. And there's a lot of talent. He's a good kid, and he works hard every week in practice. And last night paid off well for him. Obviously, our best kickoff return of the year, and he'd give us the spark. We got a stop after that. We put a drive together on offense and got a score with the touchdown in the DeMontez. Fought back a little bit and came back and had it 22-16 at the half.
Last night, we had, obviously all week, homecoming, the weather, the Hokia, whatever the case may be. What were your thoughts on the reason it seemed to us that your team kind of came out of the gate slow, or maybe not into it, or maybe Hokia was just ready to go for the game last night? What were your thoughts on the reasons for the slow start getting behind 22-0?
Well, maybe you hit on all of them, I'm not sure. The weather was the same for everybody, so, if our kids use that as an excuse, then that's a story one, I guess. Homecoming's always a difficult week, and we talked about it last week. In the lots of activities and things, I thought our kids did a pretty good job of focusing all week, and we talked about it every day at practice that, the game was the most important thing. And we needed to focus, and obviously we came out and we're not ready to play. We did not give very good effort early on in the game on either side of the ball. We didn't tackle very well and didn't block very well. But again, our kids credit, they came back a little bit and we expect to spot somebody 22 and play around back into it.
Getting back into the thing, we mentioned the kickoff return that happened that got you back to 22-8 with the 2-point conversion. I look at that and I look at what was going on. If that was the spark that got your team going, but I also thought in the first half, once that happened, it kind of gave a calming effect to your team as well as an exciting effect. I thought that helped all sides of the football at that point to get back into the game in the first half.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think anytime in the first quarter you're down, you score, and they begin to put a little doubt in your mind, and you get worried, and you question how the rest of the game is going to go. And like you said, it was an exciting play for us, but I do think it was calming also. So that, hey, okay, we're on the board, and basically the thought of the kids was, okay, let's get our first stop on defense, get the ball back, you get a score, and that's a one-score game, and that's what happened, and again, kids saying that's about the game, the play we made, the kickoff return, and just giving us that spark and helping us to climb back there in the first half.
It always seems that Hokie is able to score some points no matter who it is. Last night they were able to get it on the ground, which was a kind of a surprise. Obviously they did just because of the field conditions. Was it something new that they pulled out of the hat that they did last night, or was it something that they found along the way early that kind of gave your defensive side fits?
It was nothing new at all. Their offense was pretty basic. Essentially they scored on several cross plays to the perimeter. I felt like, I went back and watched the film yet. We had guys in the right spots. We didn't make some tackles. And then, credit them and, athletic ability and speed that we talked last week as well. But, it's impossible for us to simulate that in practice with the scout team. And when you get out there and you see it on Friday night full speed, it's pretty tough to get that kid down sometimes, and I think that's what happened last night as well.
And, of course, now you look forward. Big night coming up. Pink Out Night it is, and a special fundraiser for the Citizen G coming for the Career Foundation set up by the FBLA. And then you have the Centralia Orphans, the geographical rival in the South Southern Conference, coming down. So another week that could be filled with distractions. How do you kind of keep your kids focused, knowing they're going to have different uniforms on Friday night, and knowing that a key rival is coming into play?
Yeah, well, we'll continue to talk about it and, emphasize the importance of having a good week of practice. There's Monday off school, it's Columbus Day, so we'll come in that afternoon and, start working on Centralia Orphans then. But I think, we just need to emphasize the fact that there's still a lot to play for, and you mentioned it when I was close to it. We have a big crowd on Friday night. Last year, the Cup game was really well attended. A great cause, and it's against our rival Centralia this week, so shouldn't have a problem getting up to the game, I wouldn't think, and kids getting excited. So hopefully it'll be a great week of practice and come out and compete well on Friday.
Of course, what we do know about the Centralia Orphans, obviously, since Ray Cullen has been the head coach, a nice passing game installed, but really the reliance upon the team got their star running back, had almost 300 yards against Carbondale, has been successful on the ground just about every game this season. Obviously, they're going to bring in a multi-functional offense Friday night.
Yeah, I've had a chance just to feel my film a little briefly when we were scouting other teams and there was an opponent. He's a good football player. Didn't play against us last year, had a knee injury, but he's a very talented kid. Runs the ball really, really well. And then you could add in the fact that they've got a pretty good passing offense. He's maybe down slightly from a couple of years ago, but he's spread out, and the quarterback can get to a couple of skill guys out on the perimeter, and you have to be aware of that. And when they do that, then one of the things that does is obviously you can go defend some guys out there and open up some running opportunities from the team as well. So we're going to have to be focused on him for sure, as well as their passing game. And, they've scored some points this year, and they have to do a good job of defending them.
As you look to next week, obviously the vibe changes a little bit. Winning, obviously, is the ultimate for the next 2 weeks. Knowing that now the playoffs are not going to happen, what things do you and your staff have to do to motivate and keep players focused over the next 2 weeks of the season?
Well, I think, I've been in this position before when we're out in the playoffs, and, to me, it's about just doing the right thing. It's about the fact that, the playoffs is a goal of ours, but it's not the only reason that you play athletics or play sports. You do it to better yourself and to be a great teammate and to see how hard you can work and see how much you can improve from, week to week or the beginning of the season to the end of the season. So I think those are, the things that we'll talk about with the kids this week. And, I tell the kids all the time, when things get tough, you got two choices, and one of them is not really a choice to me. You can quit or you can dig down and go a little harder. And quitting's not an option. So I think that's the mentality we'll take these last couple of weeks. We're not gonna take practices off. We're not gonna do anything different than we have. We're gonna prepare just as hard, and I'll be out of school all weekend just like I have the last 7 weekends, and getting ready for Centralia, and our kids are prepared the same way.
Of course, we get away from the high school game just a little bit. We head to the professional ranks. I have a Cowboys fan to my left. I'm reaching out and touching someone with a Seahawks fan on the phone line. Things been friendly between the two of you thus far after the Cowboys play the Seahawks this week?
Yeah, other than the Cowboys fans, some of them are delusional about the outcome of the game this weekend. But obviously, Brady and I talked the other day. We've got Jared Kessler, my defensive coordinator, is a big Cowboys fan. So I think I'm going to have to call out a couple hours this week and catch that game tomorrow.
Delusional. Not interesting. He has come up with a Super Bowl win, so I guess he... Yeah.
Well, Seattle's a tough place to play. Not a lot of teams go in there, and I just... I like Tony Romo. I don't get on him as much as some Cowboys fans do, but I wonder if he can go there and be successful, and I guess we'll find out.
Final question for you, as usual, is our WMIX Sports social media question of the week. And with Columbus Day holiday on Monday, we're centering around it. The question is, given the resources and money, say, like Columbus had, what part of the world would you want to explore?
I guess I would have to say Europe. It's always been interesting to me. I'm sure pretty popular. A lot of people would like to go there. But just to see some of the historical places in the world. I think that would be interesting. Throughout the continent of Europe and travel around over there and again see some of the history of the world, whether that be architecturally or whatever.
You're not going to be on the hunt for spices or anything like that, like the old days?
I don't think so. I would be on the hunt for food and beverage, that's for sure. I don't turn those down a lot, so I've bought in a world traveler, so I think to be able to go there and maybe try some different things would be pretty cool.
Coach, obviously we appreciate the time you take for us every week, but a special thank you. People may not know necessarily yet. Obviously, we've tried to become a bigger part of Pink Out Night through the WMIX Sports Winning Edge Pink Rally Towns. I know Julie Hayes, FBLA's done a phenomenal job getting that off the ground. Pink jerseys this year, the hoodies, the pink T-shirts, and all of that. I just want to thank you for helping us become a bigger part of that and what you have done to help us get a number 94 jersey in honor of our late owner, Russell Withers. I appreciate that.
Well, no problem. And we're very thankful for you guys and your support. And, I think that the important thing is, and Julie says this all the time when she's promoting it, is everybody knows somebody that either lost their battle with cancer or is in it or has won. So it's fun being on Friday night. Everybody has some personal time, myself included, and looking forward to it.
Should be a fun one, Coach. We'll see you Friday.
Thanks, Seth.
We talk with Jared Shaner each and every week here on the Saturday Sports Show, AM 940, WMIXSports.com, right after your 8 o'clock news every Saturday morning. Of course, you heard from Coach Shaner himself. Now you're going to hear from us. Get our thoughts on the South 7 Conference this week, Week 8 action from across Southern Illinois, and tell you what the Rams need to do to get a Pink Out Night win over the Centralia Orphans. The South 7 Conference Showdown is coming up next here on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers 6 of them all. Call 1-888-Landers. That's 1-888 Landers. We'll take a quick break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Renly College's Adult Volunteer Literacy Program is looking for volunteers to help stop adult illiteracy. Get the gift of reading and be a hero forever. Renly College will provide you with training and materials to help adults develop the basic reading ability needed to excel. You can work one-on-one, tutor a small group, or work with students in an adult education classroom. Experience the joy of helping others and change a life. Call Renly College's Volunteer Partnership toll-free at 800-369-5321, extension 1342. Rams fans, check out the Rams apparel at Winning Edge. They have the largest supply of NVTHS t-shirts, hoodies, golf shirts, caps, bags, and more. If you can't find the right item, they'll customize it for you. In addition to the great selection of Rams gear, Winning Edge specializes in screen printing and embroidery, which are the longest-lasting promotional items. Winning Edge will get you the right activewear for your business, school, or event, and will help you make a lasting impression. Find Winning Edge downtown at 212 South 9th Street, on the web at winningedgeusa.com and on Facebook. Broadcasting live from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
And we welcome you back to the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios. Glad to have you with us for your Landers Collision Center's pregame show of the Mount Vernon Rams and the Centralia Orphans tonight. So glad you could join us here on 94.1 FM, AM 940, and video at WMIXSports.com. Same dial, location, and web address next week. No video from Mount Carmel, but we will be on AM 940 and 94.1 FM. Unfortunately, no World Series Game 3 next Friday night on 94.1 FM. But the Rams and the Orphans coming up here tonight. Not the only big game in the South 7 Conference according to geographical rivalry. Carbondale, who's winless, travels to Marion. Althoff welcomes Cahokia in what should be a dandy.
That should be a very good one. Both teams trying to get wins to get in the playoffs. Both teams need wins to get into the playoffs in this week and next week. So a very important game on the candy cane striped turf tonight over at the old Belleville West High School.
Of course, then you talk about Marion, obviously they're already the conference champion. They're undefeated in the conference. They're on a nice, 5-game winning streak, 5-2 now in the season after losing in back-to-back weeks in Champaign County. And now looking to go a perfect undefeated, obviously, in the South 7 against winless Carbondale. What a trap game that could be.
Trap game, but maybe not. They have Rich Central, Rich South next week up at SHG on the turf on a Saturday afternoon. I think Marion will be very poised, very ready to go tonight in that ball game. I don't see any problems for Marion. It's amazing. They're 0-2 in Champaign County, but the rest of the counties in Illinois this year, they're 5-0.
Of course, as we keep our focus on this one in front of us, the Mount Vernon Rams and the Centralia Orphans here on senior night, This will be the last time these seniors play on this field here at J.D. Schulenz Memorial Stadium. You have the emotions of Pink Out Night on top of that, where the players are wearing special jerseys. They're black with pink numerics and letters, and some have survivors or those who are fighting the battle or those who unfortunately have lost the battle in memoriam on the backs of their jerseys. And so an emotional night tonight for many, as many have come out to support the cause.
Well, and that's important. There are a lot of towels hanging around. We got our towels decorating our booth, and we're wearing pink tonight in honor of people or honor of the T-shirts that were sold here. And there are going to be balloons wreathed at halftime. The seniors getting honored. Everybody's dotted in pink everywhere. The Rams will be wearing black jerseys with pink names and numbers. So this is a big night. It's a lot of emotion, not only with it being a Pink Out Night, but you have seniors that have meant a lot to this program under Jared Shaner that have played with him all 4 years. They went to the playoffs last year, won't get there. Final time they strap up in a Mount Vernon uniform and play on this field. They'll never do it again in a setting such as this. So it's a bittersweet night for those seniors, and you hope everyone can get their iPads out tonight and iPhones here at Mount Vernon to get pictures and videos of this, because as seniors you don't get good opportunities to do this all the time, obviously.
Well, and then we talked about the emotion of it. Centralia obviously comes in, a chance to make the playoffs still. They would get their 5th win tonight if they were able to hang on. For the Rams, you'd love nothing better than to keep the Orphans out of the postseason, and that's an objective for them tonight. It's a logical objective. Obviously, the Orphans could win number 5 next week, but with only 22, I believe, it is playoff points coming into this week, likely the Orphans would have to, well, there's no doubt, the Orphans would have to have 6 wins to get in the postseason. A win for the Rams here tonight keeps them out.
There are no, I mean, if you're out of the playoffs like Mount Vernon, the only other thing better to do is play spoiler, and it would be so nice for Mount Vernon to kind of feather in their hat in 14 to look back on this senior group and say, yeah, I know we didn't make the playoffs and it stunk, but boy, wasn't it fun to beat Centralia in Week 8 and knock them out of the playoffs because they couldn't get in with 5 wins if they win next week. That's something that Mount Vernon has to lay their hat on tonight. We'll talk about more of that in the keys of the game.
We will. The keys to the game coming up. We'll also have your Ford Square, King City Chrysler starting lineups. You're on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. They have 5 Jefferson County branches, responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Also, 1 checking. 1 means more. Community First Bank of the Heartland. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the other Week 8 matchups around the region here tonight. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
The Medicine Shop in Mount Vernon provides personal health care on a level that no big box chain or mail order service can. That's why Consumer Reports ranked independent drugstores like the Medicine Shop #1 in customer service and satisfaction. I'm pharmacist and owner Eric Black. Did you know that independent pharmacies like the Medicine Shop receive no kickbacks from the drug manufacturers? This means that the advice you get from our staff is based only on what's best for your health. Did you also know that we offer access to your medication when you need it? No long waits or hoping that the mailman shows up with your medicine before you run out. We employ local people and pay local taxes, which means a positive economic impact for this community. Finally, we know how busy your life is. That's why we offer free deliveries to work or home. Give me a call today and I'll show you how easy it is to switch. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Or give us a call at 242-8776.
There's no other Toyota dealership like it in the region. It's totally techno, chic, and totally new.
Tyler Toyota. Like car heaven.
It's totally brand new.
Totally built for you.
Welcome to Tyler Toyota, the best car and truck buying experience in Southern Illinois. Total.
Totally.
We're celebrating the grand opening. Newly renovated and highly celebrated Tyler Toyota. Totally.
Tyler Toyota.
Streaming worldwide at WMIXsports.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com, 94.1 FM, AM 940. Glad to be with you wherever and however you may be accessing our broadcast here tonight. The Mount Vernon Rams and the Centralia Orphans, one of the Week 8 battles in the South 7. We talked at length about the conference race and games here a moment ago on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show, but we take a look now as we go river to river for you. DuQuoin's at Nashville tonight, Pinckneyville at Carterville, Sparta at AJ on the Old Man River side.
Well, it looks to me like the only game of note that could be close, I believe, is probably the Sparta at AJ game. 2 teams battling for playoff lives and everything else. DuQuoin and Nashville could be the second biggest game as far as blowout or a big margin is concerned. DuQuoin's really going to have to play up to level in order to beat Nashville. And then Pinckneyville's on the turf at Carterville, and the way the Panthers are going downhill after the last 2 or 3 weeks, Carterville playing up to potential. Looks like the Lions are probably going undefeated tonight and continue at 8-0.
Well, then you look at the Ohio side of the river to river tonight. Herons at Harrisburg, Murphy at Benton, West Frankfort at Massac. Really nothing that stands out in particular in terms of closeness, but you wonder about Murphy-Benton if that has the possibility of being a good game.
It has the possibility of being a good game because it's at Benton at Tabor Field in week 8. What I look at is Harrisburg, that's just Heron going down, going through another walkthrough. They'll handle Harrisburg pretty easily, go 5-0 in the Ohio Division. Murfreesboro at Benton is the interesting game, of course. Frankfort at Massac, battle of Massac trying to break a 9-game, 8-game losing streak. West Frankfort trying to get a second win on the season under Brian Beery. And then, of course, as we said, Murphy at Benton, the game of the night. Benton needs to win, too, to be considered, even though I don't think they have enough playoff points to get in with just 5 wins. Murphy's trying to win a 6th game to guarantee them in the playoffs for the first time since 1996.
How huge that would be. Black Diamond Conference tonight. Of course, Murphy lost to eventual state champ Carterville, as I have learned a few times throughout the years since discussing that particular streak. But BDC play tonight. Carmi heads to Northern Franklin County to take on SVWW. El Dorado at Chester. Huge conference implications there. Another game with massive BDC implications is Johnson City at Fairfield. JC wins. Well, they're probably the BDC champ. They would have Hamilton County next week. CZR travels to Vienna Goreville. That's tomorrow. Another game tomorrow just added to the schedule this week. Hamilton County welcomes North Mac. That's at 1 p.m. tomorrow. That game on our sister station, WMCL, and WMCLradio.com.
Carmite, SVWW, of course, battle of playoffs. 2 teams that are going to go at it to try to get a win. Of course, if SVWW wins tonight, they're 5-4 because their forfeit week is next week in week 9. El Dorado at Chester. El Dorado left on Tuesday to get there. No, just kidding. El Dorado will play at Chester. That should be a very good game. Chester a favorite there. Johnson City at Fairfield, a knockdown drag out at the train yard. Fairfield might be the favorite in that one. And, of course, tomorrow, ZZR at VG to try to stay out of the cellar. And Hamilton County picks up a game this week. Maybe applied to problems of high school football scheduling. That's tomorrow, a 1 o'clock game. So 2 games tomorrow in Southern Illinois for everyone to go out and check out.
Of course, other important games in terms of conferences that we often take a look at. In the Apollo tonight, big one is Mattoon and Taylorville Tangle. They're in Christian County. Mount Zion and Effingham tonight, another big one in terms of the top teams in the conference. Salem, Charleston. Somebody's got to win that one.
Well, somebody has to win, you would think. Salem, Charleston, of course, in that one, and both of them trying to look for their first win. Another one's Mount Zion and Effingham, 2 teams that have played very well this season, looking to get into the playoffs. And, of course, in Week 8, Week 9, you start eyeing the teams on the periphery of the 3 conferences we concern ourselves with, and then the Apollo amongst others. You start looking at all those teams, the Apollo, the Lick, all these, the Mississippi Valley, that everybody could be playing into here 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Well, and of course, there are so many important matchups tonight, so many important games over the next couple of weeks. And, thinking about some of the other conferences that we take a look at, one that I always like to keep an eye on is because so many more of the South 7 teams, well, until this year, obviously we're playing Mississippi Valley teams. You have Jersey at Civic tonight, Muscuda Highland, and then Waterloo Triad. Muscuda Highland, a big one. Of course, Highland, a 1-loss team, of course, due to unfortunate circumstances with that particular loss on the forfeit. Muscuda is a team with something to prove. They also, depending upon what happens here tonight, could control the playoff destiny of the Centralia Orphans.
And that's the thing. Muscuda could also be in it. If Mount Vernon wins tonight, that's over. But the thing is, if Mount Centralia does win tonight, goes to Muscuda, Muscuda could knock them out. And again, Centralia is a 5A school. Depending on what happens, could be 4A, depending on where it breaks. So, everything's interesting depending on who gets in from top down, bumps everybody. It's a very interesting time of year, especially next Saturday night at about 8 o'clock.
You're right, 8 days away from that, and seeing whom goes into which class. And, early projections show the Carterville Lions say goodbye to 3A and would bump into 4A, and this is going to be one of many ladder climbs for the Lions as they will presumably projected to be within 5A realm here within the next 5 to 7 to 10 years. So interesting for the Lions, could make their first bump into a new class this year.
It is, and that was a surprise to me. And I talked with some people in the media, of course, in Southern Illinois about that, and said, whoa, he said, what are they doing getting ranked there? And you start looking at enrollments, and we've talked about this for a couple of years now, almost 4. Carterville is in a situation, they're going to be 4A. We thought it would be next year, the year after. They are already in that point knocking on the door. And if they were to go 4A with Heron, with other people, boy, oh boy, Carterville would go 9-0 probably in the River and then come out and have to play like an Effingham or a Columbia or Altoff. Not good for a Carterville team that just gotten into the River to River, going from 2A to 3A and looking at 4A now.
Now, it's amazing to see how this is going to progress for the Carterville Lions, and just one of many teams that we are looking at to see what happens in terms of their enrollment. But as we take a look now into next week, obviously the Rams, everybody, the 16 conferences all leave conference play and go to non-conference. But Mount Vernon travels to Mount Carmel. Again, we'll have that game 94.1 AM 940, audio only at WMIXsports.com. Triad heads to Altoff. Cahokia has Normal U-High. Cahokia is playing for their playoff lives tonight, presumably, with a tough matchup on the road next week. Carbondale, Harrisburg, Centralia, Mascoutah. Marion gets Rickton Park at Sacred Heart Saturday at 1 p.m. next week. That's just a look at your South 7 teams in non-conference.
It's going to be interesting. Of course, one of the South 7 schools, Mount Carmel's going to be playing for playoff position. Altoff may be doing that with Triad. Triad trying to sneak backdoor in. Cahokia, if they win the night, would be battling in a tough road trip to Normal. Carbondale Harrisburg would mean nothing but bragging rights. Centralia at Mascoutah could be on the line for both teams. And then, of course, Marion, if they're 6-2, of course, they want to win another one. It's one of those deals where the more wins, the more points you have, the better seeding you have. So much difference between 6-3 going on the road somewhere for Marion compared to 7-2 maybe being at home.
Well, no doubt. And then you look at the River to River non-conference, at least the teams that we focus on in the River to River, they're non-conference games. There are some crossover matchups. AJ's at Benton, Carterville at West Frankfort, DuQuoin at Murfreesboro, Nashville at Columbia, Pinckneyville goes to DuPo, Redbud to Sparta. Central is at Heron, of course. That's a nice matchup for those two teams. Heron, a nice Week 9 battle. Massac County goes to Ballard County, Kentucky.
The game you look at there, A.J. Benton obviously is both teams could be battling if Benton wins tonight. Carterville looking for 9-0. We've talked about being 9-0 and being at home. Difference, DuQuoin, Murphy could be looking at 7-2 if they win the night. So very good games. The game there is Nashville-Columbia. Boy, what a good one next week.
Big games in the BDC next week. We'll talk about them all tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Show, 8:08 until 10 o'clock right here on AM 940. WMIXsports.com. We'll honor America for J.D. Shields. We'll take a break. This is Rams Football from WMIX Sports.
Looking for a free checking account that still offers rewards for doing things you already do? Introducing Cha-Ching. Hi, this is Nina right now with People's National Bank. We want you to get the most out of your money, which is why we're offering Cha-Ching Cash Checking. Cha-Ching Cash lets you earn really high rates paid in cash each month. We'll even refund your ATM fees nationwide, so you can make any ATM your ATM. There's never minimum balance to earn any of your Cha-Ching Cash rewards. Stop by People's National Bank or visit People's National Bank for details on our Cha-Ching Checking. Qualifications and rules apply. Member FDIC. You can count on us. You can.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Chrysler dealer at King City Chrysler Center in Mount Vernon. Wow, I'm really feeling older. Can you believe it's been 20 years already since we became Mount Vernon's Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer? That's right, we're having our 20th year anniversary. We would like to thank all of our customers who have come back over and over and have bought many vehicles from us in the past 20 years. We are looking forward to serving you for another 20 years or more. We're 20 years strong with great rebates, a great staff, great deals, and we're here for you after the sale. 20 years after the sale. Come in and see us for another Chrysler product. We're dealing for you at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where you can count on us.
Watch the Rams online at WMIXsports.com. Powered by Red Lake College.
Welcome back, 94.1 FM, AM 940. WMIXsports.com. This is WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, W243 AVFM Florida, W229 AUFM Fairfield. Free services from Withers Broadcasting. They comprise the Mount Vernon Rams radio network here tonight. Good evening again. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow has the video for WMIXsports.com. Hunter Schrader taking care of things back at the Powerhouse on Broadway. The Rams and the Orphans tonight. It's just a matter of minutes. National anthem has been completed. The Rams have taken the field in those nice black jerseys with pink numbers here on Pink Out Night from this glorious facility. What a big game in store as these two teams will have hopefully what many consider to be an epic battle And the Rams will kick off first.
Rams will kick off. Centralia won the toss. Will take it. They'll have the wind at their backs here to start here in the first quarter on a field that, compared to what we saw when we left last week, looks 10 times better. A huge bare spot from the 50 to the 35, from south to north, 50 to 35. Some other bare spots. That's the biggest one in the middle of the field, but with only one more varsity game tonight, this field can definitely handle it.
It definitely can, and it goes into dormancy, at least with varsity football, until 2015, and then you would assume and hope that would be the final year here before possibly making a move to a new facility, hopefully a better facility, across town.
Nashville started early. It's 8-0. We haven't even kicked off yet.
Bird Watson Drug scoreboard already before we even kick off here in the King City. The Mount Vernon Rams and the Centralia Orphans. Orphans wearing their away whites, red pants, their red helmets with numerics on the left side. The Rams, meanwhile, black pants. We told you about the pink out unis. They're black with pink numerics, and then, of course, the normal helmet, the black helmet with the Ram emblem on the right side of the noggin. Kicking off, it'll be the senior Dalton McGowan back to return. Looks like the Orphans have a couple. They're deep, but it's not quite going to get that far as I don't see it. This is going to be coming now from the right side, blocked by Mamada. This could be trouble now. Looks like this is number 3. That is Dorian Reeves coming in the near side. Well past midfield, down at about the 40. My apologies. Looked right into my monitor, did not see, and that's what happens is the Orphans will start off with great field position.
Well, the coverage team lost their lanes. You have assignments. You have to stay disciplined on the kickoff team, and you can see the Rams that time kind of pinching toward the middle of the field and not stay in their lanes. When you don't stay in your lanes, you start pinching or spreading out, you leave openings, and that's what he did that time, and Reeves took off and took advantage, and the Orphans coming out of the huddle, much like the old Michigan teams when they were good, comes out of the huddle straight on, ready to run their first play.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Orphans. 11:49 to go as we just opened up here on Pink Out Night for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. New start tonight for Javon Williams Jr., freshman quarterback here for the Orphans. And he will be out of the pistol with Matisse Scott as back. Split to the left and to the right. This is going to be a pitch to Scott going to the right side. Number 21 is at the far hash. Scott's trying to break to the sideline. 40, 35, maybe pulled down at about the 30. Some fits there on the Rams defense, but Matisse Scott looks like he has first down yardage for a gain of about 13.
Saw a lot of prom tackling out there at that point. A lot of guys reaching for jerseys, a lot of guys reaching for helmets or face masks or anything to grab. No pads, no hitting. Just a lot of grabbing going on, a 13-yard first down.
Community First Bank of the Heartland. Always bank on the hometown team at Community First Bank. They offer one checking, free checking with high-yield interest. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Back out of the pistol, 2 to the left this time for the Orphans, coached by Ray Colleen, and we are going to have a whistle.
Chin strap malfunction. Out there, number 21, Matisse Scott. He got tackled. Of course, Rams were reaching and grabbing. That got knocked off, and he was trying to get a hook back up, and the official will let you do that if you point it out.
1st and 10 for the Orphans. Ball on the 27, far hash. They're in Ram territory. It's going to be a pitch coming to the left side for Scott. He's at the 30, pushed back now at the 25. Almost broke a tackle, but Andrew Heiner, who's wearing a pink out jersey for Denny Clark, able to bring down the ball carrier. That'll be at about the 20. A gain of about, actually 22 is going to come to spot. It'll be a gain of 5. Cuts it in half. 2nd and 5 for the Orphans.
Well, right now, Mount Centralia has come out with some excitement and energy. They rode in on the bus tonight, the charter from Centralia, and they got off the bus. They had their pads on the pants and pads on. They did not have cleats. They had their jerseys on. All they had to do is put the shoulder pads on underneath and a helmet. They were ready to go off the charter. They arrived here about 6:15. And they're ready to go so far in this one.
Out of the pistol again, to the right, one to the left. Matisse Scott the back for the freshman quarterback. And this is going to be another handoff. Off tackle to run up the gut. Gets to about the 20, maybe a dive to the 19 for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 with 10:46 to play in the first. No score yet, but the Orphans trying as they move the ball effectively on the ground on the run.
Not really anything fancy on that time, you notice. Just a little power off tackle running. And, of course, they were very quick to get 3 yards there. And right now running the football at will here early on this first drive of the game.
Orphans go right to left here in the opening quarter. Quarterback, of course, new starter tonight is Javon Williams Jr., a 6', 200-pound freshman. Also plays linebacker on the defense, I'm told. Quick snap out of the pistol. Should be a flag on the play, and that'll blow the play dead. 10:15 to go here in the first. No score yet.
Got to throw it. Saw 3 guys leaving early for Centralia, tipping off where they were going. Not bad. First game. Oh, you're going to start. Really? Against Mount Vernon. Oh, nothing like jumping into the fire as a freshman. And, of course, Centralia doesn't have enough numbers for a freshman team. So on Monday night, these two teams are going to play a conglomeration game. The freshmen, sophomore, juniors will all play together, depending on our freshman, sophomore. So one game Monday night.
And that'll take care of that. Of course, some numbers, I think, are the issue at the freshman level for Centralia, but thus far, the quarterback controlling things well, the freshman Williams. And it could be quality instead of quantity for the Orphans freshman. In motion was Scott looking to the right side. Williams will complete it out to Scott. He's going to run for some, had some room to run after the catch to about the 10. It'll be actually to about the 11, and that's going to be a gain of roughly 13. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Orphans with 9:52 to go in the opening quarter. No score yet.
I was impressed. Freshman coming out in his first game, Williams dropped back, stopped, stepped, planted, rotated those hips over towards that throw on the right side, threw a bullet. Very impressed with that one right out of the gate.
Great throw by the freshman. Split to the left side is Jordan Maines, as well as looks like Shandon Webster. Could be a carry between the tackles. It's going to be for Matisse Scott. And the Orphans haven't had to do much through the air, though they did get a 13-yard completion a moment ago. Scott does most of the running. He's shy of the 5, but it'll be 2nd down for the Orphans. 9:22 left. No score.
Right now he does a lot of the catching, too. He's got the one catch. He's the offense. He's touched the ball every time on a snap. Late arrivers here. I can't remember what time everything starts.
It'll be a far hash spot for the Orphans. 2nd and 5 from the Mount Vernon 7. Out of the pistol again for Ray Collins' offense. 2 to the left. Nobody on the right. They're tied on the right side of the pistol. Scott the back. And this is going to be not a handoff. It's going to be Williams Jr. trying to go far corner of the end zone, but tripped up at the last moment at about the 4 or so. So it's a slight gain. It'll bring up 3rd down for the boys from Centralia. 8:45 left to go in the first. Chris Hugo, Danny Czerwinski is alongside. And for the Rams here, you hope that you get a stop here on 3rd down, maybe bend but not break on 4th, and try to contain the Orphans.
This is big. I mean, Orphans obviously 2 down territory sitting at the Rams 5. 2 plays to get about 5 yards and get a 1st down. Could have 1st and goal to go inside the 5.
Still out of the pistol with Maines and Webster split to the left side. Matisse Scott still the back, the senior, and he is going to get the carry this time. He's going to be pushed back away, still trying to find some running room. Grabbed the jersey. He'll finally come down. The ball was loose, and it was down, though. The ball came to the 20, probably going to spot it somewhere around the 12.
He was inches away. He made a spin move and was about ready to get away, and a Rams player, again, had to grab the jersey, got him off balance. He fell to the ground. It was a 10-yard loss. So the Orphans right now will go from 4th and short to about 4th and 11, and they're going to try to kick a field goal, what would be, with the wind, a 30-yard variety.
Nick Neubauer on the kick, trying for the 30-yard field goal to make it 3-0. Here's the snap. The kick is up. Looks decent. Looks like it snuck inside the left upright. And for a team that for so many years didn't have much of a kicking game, the Orphans make the first field goal that I can recall in recent memory to take a 3-0 lead. I'm talking about games in which I've seen the Orphans.
I've said in high school football, if you got a guy that can kick a field goal like that, 30, 35 yards, you're starting to see the soccer influence in the high school football programs now. That's extra points. That's getting a 3-point field goal there that a lot of teams would have went to it on 4th and may have not got in. Very impressive start for the Orphans.
So the Rams will have the football now. They trail 3-0 into the first. 7:32 left to go. We're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. Why play the financing waiting game? Become pre-approved right now. Apply online at Tyler's Toyota. Make that TylerToyota.net. Totally new, totally Tyler's.
Nice drive. About 5.5 minutes, about 40 yards. The Orphans used a lot of time off the clock. Get the field goal. Obviously disappointed, but they get the field goal anyway. It's 3-0.
Of course, back to return for the Orphans, number 28, DeMontez Miller-Gray, and special for tonight, number 94, Jesse Green. And happy to see that Jesse Green willing to wear number 94 in honor of our dear owner who passed away earlier this year, Russell Withers. And good to see him out there, and hope to see all of these Rams successful tonight in their pink out uniforms as we await the new Bauer kickoff. 30-yard field goal, the difference thus far. 7:32 left to go in this opening quarter, and Miller-Gray and Green back to return. Green normally wears 4, so adding the number 9 in front, not too much of a stretch. Speaking of number 9, Dylan Reeves on the sideline talking with Mark Goodhart, ready to get out there. As this will be a kick, not going to get to the 2 return men. It'll be picked up off of a bounce. Looks like this is Tyus. He'll lose his footing, and he will have a knee at about the 24-yard line, where the Rams will have it 1st and 10. They trail 3-0 on a Centralia field goal with 7:29 left to go in this first quarter.
Oh, nice drive by the Orphans. Had good field position. Probably a little disappointed about not being able to get a touchdown that first drive when you're 40 yards away from pay dirt, but able to get some points. And again, that's an opportunity with the wind. They had and got points. Now Mount Vernon, of course, a run-oriented team. The wind is against them, so it'll be interesting to see how this first drive goes in this first quarter against this stiff wind out of the north.
Corvier Meredith will be split off to the right, looks like. Tyus off to the left. Quarterback Reeves will be under center. In motion will be Hester, and this looks like it's going to be a quarterback keeper to test the spacing as Reeves will get to about the 32 for a gain of his jersey number of 9, maybe. We'll see where they spot the football first before being too assumptive and see where the spot is. So it is going to be about a gain of 9. It'll bring up 2nd and 1. You can watch us online at WMIXsports.com, powered by Rend Lake College, where you can save thousands on your collegiate education. See how to play online at rlc.edu. Rend Lake College, your journey starts here. 6:58 left to go. The clock rolls here in the first quarter. 2nd and 1 for the Rams. Left to right they go. Meredith off to the right. Tyus off to the left. Heiner, Hester, Miller-Gray are your backs. The quarterback reads under center, and this is going to be in motion. Double handoff. Miller-Gray looking to bust to the left side. Finds some running room. He's at the 40. He'll get to midfield at the 50. 45, 40. Brought down at about the 42-yard line. Make that the 38. He got past the 40.
Yep, about 33 yards. Just a little pitch out to the left. Took off and took it up to sideline. And quickly, Mount Vernon in Centralia territory going on.
6:37 left in the first. 1st and 10. Rams in Centralia territory. Ball on the 35, tucked inside the far hash. See if the Rams can get these 3 points or more back with 6:27 left to go in the first. Meredith off to the right. Tyus left. Heiner, Hester, Miller-Gray your backs for the quarterback. The senior also honored before the game, Dylan Reeves, along with the rest of these senior Rams. A loaded Rams senior class. His inside handoff will go to Heiner. Off tackle to the right side. Not going to get too much, but a decent gain for Andrew as he'll get inside the 35 to maybe about the 34.
So power football there. The Orphans clogged up the middle and knocked him backwards. Tough hit there at the end that Heiner had to take, but he got up and was able to take it. 50-50. It's always big at a playoff game in a couple of weeks.
You betcha. 2nd and 8 now for the Rams. Centralia territory between the hashes of the 33. Pitch coming to the right side. This will be DeMontez as he gets to the 30 to the sideline. Nice little shoulder there, trying to cut back at about the 25. And he will lean forward maybe to about the 23. Dancing dangerously with first down yardage is DMG. 5:25 left to go in the first. 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Committee First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Centralia 23. 5:16 remains here in the opening quarter. Orphans on top 3-0. Neubauer, the 30-yard field goal. Split to the right, Meredith. On the left, of course, Tyus. A couple of wingbacks for Coach Shainer's offense. As this is going to be a nice turnaround inside handoff. Miller-Gray trying to bob and weave his way around the 20. It looks like it's going to be to about the 19 for a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 now, so we drop below the 5-minute mark.
Right now, both teams running at will. Neither team really wanting to stop the other. And that's kind of how it's win this year in Southern Illinois in football. Do what you want, run when you want, score as much as you want.
4:35.
Oh, no. Can you do that? Jameis Winston called and said, you can't autograph things.
Oh, yeah?
They're getting away an autograph ball. I thought,
gotcha.
I can't do that.
Quick snap by Dylan Reeves, and he will continue to run behind that very effective offensive line. Past the 15. Looks like he might have gotten a first down. Chains are moving, so it's a first down for Reeves. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. 4:20 to play here in the opening quarter. Who will be our Tony Wilt State Farm player of the game? You can find past players of the game at WMIXsports.com. Tony Wilt, glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town.
Well, these two teams don't need any defense. Play with flags. We'll play flag football.
In motion, Miller-Gray. Looks like it's going to be a handoff on a sweep to the left side. Inside the 10, looking for the 5. Far corner for a touchdown. No flags, and this will be a 12-yard scamper for Run DMG. 6-0, Rams on top. Big run for Run DMG.
Well, big run off the left side. Lots of blocking going on, and touchdown Rams. And they take the lead here with extra point coming up.
Dalton McGowan, the senior, on for the point after, and he's really come alive from a PAT standpoint. He really improved his standing at Carbondale. He's now 14 of 21, looking for 15 of 22 here in 2014. Kick is up. It's good, and the Rams take a 7-3 lead here in the first. 3:52 left to go. And what a way to recover after the 30-yard field goal by Neubauer. The Rams march it down the field, get a 12-yard touchdown run for DeMontez Miller-Gray. And for Miller-Gray, that is now his 10th touchdown of the year on the ground.
Amazing, the offense that we have seen and read about and been talked about. And, again, 2 drives, 10 points as we start heading down the road again of a high-scoring football game here tonight in Mount Vernon.
Get you some Bird Watson Drug scoreboards throughout the night here on WMIX FM, AM 940, and WMIXsports.com. Full scoreboard later tonight. We'll also have it tomorrow for you on the Saturday Sports Show as we recap the very best in the goings-on in local
Wild
sports.
and woolly right now. Nashville already up 16-zip on DuQuoin. Pinckneyville up early at Carterville 7-zip. Heron over Harrisburg as expected. 14-0. Murphy over Benton early 6-0. In the South 7, Carbondale Marion tied at 7, and Cahokia and Altoff are scoreless. Carmi over the Red Devils 7-zip, and JC over Fairfield 7-zip to our east.
There you go. Enjoy the convenience of drive-through service at both Bird Watson Drug locations. Visit Bird Watson Drug at 12th and Main and 34th and Broadway in Mount Vernon. Reeves and Webster back to return for the Orphans. Will it get that far? It will. It'll be Reeves. He'll actually muff it a little bit at the 19. Pick it up between the hashes, rolls to the 30. Now trying to get to the 35. Bumped off of a Ram, but it'll take a team of Rams to bring him down at about the 38-yard line. Maybe the 30. They're not going to give him the spot I thought they were going to give. They're going to go ahead and say about the 37, it looks like. So that's where the Orphans will have it.
AJ's up 21-0 on Sparta early, as Benton now falls behind 12-zip early at home. So already some blowouts heading down the pike already in the river to river.
3:41 to go here in the first quarter. 7-3 Rams on top. You just joined us. Nick Neubauer, a 30-yard field goal in the first drive of the game for the Orphans. DeMontez Miller-Gray, a 12-yard TD run into the far corner of the end zone for the Rams. A McGowan point after later, and here we are. Orphans with it. Out of the shotgun empty backfield. This is going to be actually a little bit of wildcat. Deep downfield, wide open, and that is going to be completed at about the 25. Easy touchdown, 63 yards through the air. As that is Shandon Webster for the score. Oh my, 63 yards through the air, and what that was a snap to the running back who pitches it to the quarterback coming off of the line. A little bit of seems wildcatish to me.
Now it's just a pitch, and the running back goes to his strong side. And by that point, when the running back has it, of course, all 11 black jerseys took off. And, of course, when that happened, Webster gets back there and goes, look at me. The only guy near him was the concession stand over there, and that is a touchdown.
Oh, my. 63 yards for the score for the Orphans. And Rams may have been caught napping there as Neubauer's on for the PAT. It's up, and it is wobbly. It's going to miss wide to the right. It stays 9-7. And so this could be the shootout at the J.D. Corral here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium tonight. 3:31 left to go. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs, Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC. It's 9-7 Orphans. Let's see what the Rams can do now.
Well,
they can do something.
Well, that was
how do you respond?
That was a defensive blow is what that was. And that took the Orphans all of 21 seconds to come back.
There are things you want to happen and things you don't want to happen, and that's pretty well a case of things you did not want to see happen if you're the Rams defense. But, you know, they played well there in that first drive and really allowing the field goal, not such a bad thing, but it ends up as a case here where now you got to try to come back from that, and you just hope to find some sort of momentum, I think, now.
Now, defense botched one there, and they'll take that one. So, yeah, we botched that one up. Williams to Webster for 63 yards. And, you know, it's frustrating, and that's kind of been the MO of Mount Vernon this year. Last year, those things would have went to the Rams, and this year the breaks start going the other way.
So, Neubauer on to kick off. Jesse Green and DeMontez Miller-Gray are back to return at about the 5 with 3:30 left to go in the first. 9-7 Orphans on top. See if the Rams can get one right back here as Neubauer's set to kick off. Interestingly enough. And here it comes from the 40. Not going to get very far intentionally, of course. At about the 38, the Rams will have it. Nice job there. Looked like that was Michael Johnson. And he'll be kind of forced all the way back to about the 27, where the Rams will have it 1st and 10 with 3:24 left to go here in the first. 9-7 Orphans on top. And not 3 field goals, but a field goal, and then you had the touchdown, and the point after was no good for the Orphans, and that's the difference right now. The difference is a safety.
Basically, Nashville up 16-0 after one against DuQuoin. And back here to this one, Mount Vernon has got to be going here. After this play, I have to mention something just to welcome somebody into Twitter.
All right, as under center, Dylan Reeves. I'm looking for the quick handoff, and there it was, and there it went. Andrew Heiner not going to get much out of that one. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Promise to @JBoWilson that there will be no references as of, well, I shouldn't say none, but Big Blue Madness is tonight in Lexington, Kentucky. So if we mention the Wildcat and I kind of get a little excited, it's partly because of the call on the field, but it's also knowing that college basketball starts in Big Blue Nation tonight.
No doubt. 2nd and 12 for the Rams. 2:57 left to go here in the opening quarter. 9-7 the score. Orphans on top. Split to the left side. Tyus on the right. Corvier Meredith gained the start on senior night. In motion it was Hester. Hester's going to get the sweep up to the right side. There's going to be a flag in the backfield. He gets to about the 25, pushed out at about the 28. Gain of 3 depending upon the penalty. It's a holding call against the Rams, and the flag is lying at about the 24. The call was made at about the 20. We'll see exactly where the infraction happened as they walk off 10 yards.
It'll be about 12 yards on the infraction based on the penalty, and now it is a tough one. And that'll come back, and penalty will start it over again for the Rams. And, of course, you can't do this too many times, as the Rams have learned through 7 weeks this year, shooting yourself in the foot.
Pink out night done right here at Mount Vernon Township High School. The FBLA sold T-shirts, hoodies, and long-sleeve tees tonight to help raise money for Susan G. Komen for the Cure. We, of course, had the WMIX Sports Winning Edge rally towels tonight. Hopefully that people will have a reason to wave them around or just have them to wave around. That was a $1 donation. That also goes to Susan G. Komen for the Cure. Split to the left and to the right. Waith now back out in the lineup. Split to the right side. Tyus on the left. Heiner, Hester, Miller-Gray, your backs. Reeves looking to pass. Downfield. That'll be complete to Miller-Gray as he hangs on at about the 30. That'll be a 16-yard gain. It'll be a 1st down, and what a catch by Miller-Gray.
That'll get yourself out of a hole on the first completion of the night from Mount Vernon, from Reeves to Miller-Gray. Gets him out of a hole, takes out that penalty, and, of course, now Mount Vernon with a 1st down, and the goalpost a little bit further back behind them at this point.
On the 30 on the near hash. Left to right they go. 2:04 to play here in the first. 9-7 the score. Rams trail by a 2-point conversion or a safety, if you will, as Tyus will go out to the left. Split to the right on the 30 is Derek Waith. In motion, Miller-Gray, and this is probably going to be a keeper as Reeves will roll off to the left side. He'll flick it out to Miller-Gray. Now who has some running room. He'll get to midfield to the outside. He's at the 45, looking to cut back near at the 40. Blows past the guy at the 35, 30, 25, trying to come near side. Gets to the hash at the 20, 15. Brought down from behind at about the 5, as that'll be a gain of about 65 yards on the ground for DMG, and that puts the Rams inside the red zone by far.
65-yard run there by DMG off the left side. Got some great blocks downfield from receivers. What a read by Dylan Reeves coming off the left side. Took it as far as he could. The end came out on. He pitched it to DMG, and he took it the rest of the way, 65 yards. And the Rams have 1st and goal to go at the 5 of the Orphans.
Oh, my. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home in Dixon and Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. Reeves under center, split to the right, Waith in motion. It's going to be, it looks like Reeves dialing his own number here, trying to make his way into the end zone. I hear the whistles blow, but no arms extended up. It looks like this gets to the 2. Gain of 3 will bring up 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line with 1:10 to go here in the first. Rams trailing by a deuce. Unbelievable run by, well, actually great option play for Dylan Reeves. Went to the outside with run DMG. Miller-Gray found running room. And what an improved runner he is. Miller-Gray speedy last year, but added a bit of more physical nature this year to his running game, and just very impressive as he's trying to get to the 1,000-yard mark. Came into tonight, Miller-Gray with 891 yards, so if he gets 109, which he should be over that point at this point.
He is Oh, my. He's well over that point.
So DeMontez is a 1,000-yard rusher again this year. It's a nice play by Dylan Reeves. From under center, ballooned around in the backfield, was able to go left and found a nice seam to make it a 2-yard score and give the Rams a 13-9 lead.
Wow. All this scoring here in the first quarter, and as we trade off, Reeves scores for the Rams.
Putting on a show here tonight.
Just a little run off the left side, off tackle. Got it in the end zone, pretty untouched. And the extra point awaits.
So we'll see what they're able to do here. Instead, looks like they're going to go for 2. Try to make it a 6-point game if they can convert. This is going to be a pitch coming to the right side. Miller-Gray maybe find a seam, and DMG will get in. I don't see a flag. It's good for 2, and the Rams will take a 15-9er lead.
Golly.
They see something. They see some holes here on special teams and offensively tonight, and they are exploiting.
Well, and the thing you look at is Mount Vernon has this innate ability to run the ball, and Centralia right now a team that's more finesse, and they're getting overpowered at the line of scrimmage here in this one early on. And that's the whole key in this one so far is the run, and 4 drives, 2 for each team, 2 touchdowns each, or actually a touchdown and a field goal for Centralia, 2 touchdowns for the Rams, and again, this is an offensive slugfest already early on.
28 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 15-9 is your score as the Rams are back on top against the Orphans. The Orphans will have the football here. Webster and Reeves back to return for Ray Collins' Centralia Orphans. They come in with a record of 4-3 as they've fallen in their past 3 straight games. Miller-Gray needed just 109 yards coming in to get to 1,000 for the season. As this will be on the ground, not quite going to get to the return men. It'll be at about the 45, and brought down from behind is the returner as Sam Arcuri will pick up the tackle. On the return was Caleb Shipley.
Mount Vernon had to do that, kicking into the wind one last time in this quarter. It's a case where Mount Vernon now, of course, kick in and then stuff, and then you have to see what's going on. You kick it short, and in the next quarter, second quarter, you'll have the wind at your back.
23.8 seconds left, 15-9 the score. Orphans are going to split off to the left. That'll be Dorian Reeves, the junior, split off to the right side, one in the slot each side out of the pistol formation for Coach Ray Cullen and his crew, as the lone back will be Matisse Scott. He had an impressive performance against Carbondale to open up South 7 Conference. Played nearly 300 yards on the ground. Now with 23.8 seconds left here. Looking for a passing play. This was going to fall incomplete. That'll be incomplete, intended to the left side for Keyshawn Marshall. Marshall won't drop it, and what a play by Waith as he leveled the boom against the intended target.
Big hit. Ball and defender got at the same time. Big hit and popped right on out. Second down for the Orphans.
So the Orphans will have it 2nd and 10. Clock stops at 20.5 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 15-9. Rams on top. Orphans looking for the big play again out of the pistol. To the left and to the right, a man in each slot. For the quarterback, Javon Williams Jr. getting his first start tonight, the freshman. They're going to send Scott out wide in motion, and now direct snap. Quarterback's going to try to run. He's up the middle. He's at the 40, past midfield. 30. He's going far sideline. He may break it all the way in. Far corner, touchdown. Wow. 53 yards on the ground for Williams, the quarterback, and it's going to be tied at 15.
That is crazy. Just right up the middle, untouched. Nobody home whatsoever, and Centralia scores again so quickly.
Unbelievable. 10.6 seconds left to go in the first, and just when he thought the Orphans might have the football to start the second quarter, at the rate this offense is going, even with 10.6 seconds left, the Orphans may have the football to start the second quarter.
They may have the ball to start the second quarter.
Wow.
I mean, that's how potent the Orphans are, and we've had 5 scores in the first quarter of play.
They're going to go for the point after. Nick Neubauer on to kick. Here it comes. And that is up, and it's going to be good. Sneaks inside the upright, 16-15, as Centralia takes a 1-point lead.
Wow.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Bottom of the hour, WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon. So glad you could join us for the Mount Vernon Rams and Centralia Orphans tonight. South 7 Conference rivalry game on Pink Out Night for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Also senior night with the final home game of the season. On the road next week in Wabash County, Riverside, at the Snake Pit as the Rams will battle the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. They beat them last year for the first time in quite a while. The Aces will come in off of a Big 8 conference test, I believe on the road at Boonville.
They're winning tonight. Well,
yeah.
Get your offense, not your popcorn. Get your offense. I mean, it is here, and this is the Orphans team that everybody expected this year, and they are matching Mount Vernon and scoring points quickly in this one.
So now the Orphans will kick off, and the Rams will see what they can do with the football now, trailing 16-15. Orphans have broken off a couple of big plays tonight, and thus far, that's the difference right now. Nick Neubauer, of course, had a 30-yard field goal in the opening drive. Rams came right back after both scores and put their own feet in the end zone. We'll see what the Orphans do here on the kickoff, how deep it's going to go. Looks like Miller-Gray and Green back to return. Not quite going to get that far. It'll be Tyus this time from the far side, looking to work between the hashes. Had some running room, but ran into a wall of his own men at about the 35. Stumbles to the 36. It'll be 1st and 10 with 1.9 seconds to go here in the first, as the Rams will get one play off from scrimmage, you would presume, here to end the first quarter. 16-15 Orphans on top if you're just joining us. From the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. Rams football, of course, always cared for. And presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. 1.9 ticks to go. Ball on the far hash. Left to right go the Rams here for 1.9 more seconds. They trail 16-15.
Time enough for another score.
There is. Reeves, the quarterback, will be under center. Loading up the backs all to the right here in Jared Shaner's offense. And this is going to be a pitch coming to the right side. They're looking to go Drew Hester. Hester runs for a gain of about, actually maybe a loss of 1 here on the play. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know when we come back with second quarter action. For J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium after 1, the Centralia Orphans 16, the Mount Vernon Rams 15. We'll take a break. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, president of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Bird Watson Pharmacists are your trusted healthcare resources. Do you know that you have a choice when choosing your Medicare Part D plan? Hi, I'm Adam Breeze, and I want you to have the freedom to choose a plan that meets your needs using the pharmacy of your choice. Our pharmacists take the time to get to know you, explain your medications, and answer the questions you may have. We will help you understand a plan that fits your current medication list. Starting October 15th, come into Bird Watson Drug at 12th and Main or 34th and Broadway and ask for me or talk to one of our pharmacists about finding the right plan for you. HealthMart, caring for you and about you.
Look for our exclusive videos on our YouTube channel. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Welcome you back. Second quarter action on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. The Mount Vernon Rams trail the Centralia Orphans 16-15. That's a 1-point disadvantage, but let's see what they can do here. They have the football in their own territory at the 38. Ball between the hashes. Right to left they go as they have it 2nd and 9 after a 1-yard gain by Hester. Closed out the first quarter of play. Reeves, the quarterback, under center, split left and right. In motion, Miller-Gray. Sweep coming to the near side. Finds a bit of running room as he bulldozes his way past the 45. He'll fall to about the 48. That'll be a gain of 10 as he continues to add to his 1,000-yard rushing season.
42, 47, 59, 134. And we are in the first part now, second quarter. So many crazy games tonight. Just scoring galore.
11:46 to go here in the second quarter. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking, the official voice of high school sports. From the 48, Ram territory, Reeves back to pass. 2-step drop through the hands of Waith. He was at the 45, and they'll have it 2nd and 10 now. Clock stops, 11:35 to go. Rams trail by 1 if you're just tuned in, 16-15.
That's how you become defensive backs. You can't catch.
3947. It is parked in front of the maintenance shop and needs to be moved immediately.
11:35 to go. Can't block maintenance.
No.
Can't do that. No,
Can't
no.
do that. No.
Learned that trick early on.
Yeah, that will not sit well.
Split to the right and to the left. Reeves is going to take it himself, and there was a bunch not right with that play. Where there's a few flags coming in. It's going to be against the Rams, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's going to be, what, 5 yards?
Oh, it should be. That just not very aesthetically pleasing on that particular play.
That kind of looked like people had different ways. Dead ball foul, we got you. Yep.
We feel you.
Yep, false start, 5 yards. Second penalty for 17 yards for the Rams.
We'll have your Second Chance Auto halftime show coming up at the break. What other buy here, pay here dealer in the area can save you hundreds, even thousands on the total cost of your vehicle? Second Chance Auto can. Stop by their impressive lot and find out more. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. 11:30 to play here in the first half. 16-15, the Rams are down 1 as Tyus will come split to the left, Waith on the right. Heiner, Hester, Miller-Gray are your backs.
Wow.
Reeves under center. Miller-Gray will be in motion. It's going to be Reeves keeping it in himself. Has some blocking from Miller-Gray. He'll get to the far sideline, cuts back near at the 40. And he has a heck of a run as he'll get to about the 35. It'll be a gain of about 15-ish. With 11:22 to go in the half, first down yardage for the Rams. We have an injured orphan at about midfield.
We have running holes everywhere. Big enough that Twitter followers and you and I could probably run through and get some stuff done as the orphan is down to 50. And while that goes on, we'll go through some scores. Second quarter, Nashville over DuQuoin, 24-8. Carterville over Pinckneyville, 14-7. AJ leads Sparta at the end of 1, 21-6. Second quarter, it is Heron over Harrisburg, 28-7. Murphy over Benton, 23-0 in the second quarter. And Frankfurt over Matsek, 6-0 in the first. Altoff leads Cahokia in the first, 14-zip. Marion over Carbondale, second, 14-7. Carmi over the Red Devils, 7-zip in Franklin County. Chester over El Dorado, 7-0 at the end of 1. J.C. Fairfield, 14-all. And in the second, an update from SVWW. Carmi now up 14-0 on the Red Devils in the second quarter. Mount Carmel leads Boonville, Indiana, 12-0. That is in the second quarter.
Don't let stairs be a problem. Bird Watson Drug has the solutions. We install ramps and stair lifts tailored specifically for your stairs. Customized just for you. Bird Watson Drug, 2 locations in Mount Vernon. Jeff Lonan tuned in tonight. He'd be proud of the kicking game that has been on display here tonight. 30-yard field goal to open up the game here tonight. Coin toss went well prior to the game as well.
Yeah, no problems on the coin toss.
11:09 to play here in the first half. He says, let's get that defense going as he cheers the Rams on tonight. His Lady Rams will start their season here in just a matter of weeks. Miller-Gray on a sweep left side. He's at the 30, 25, trying to go to the 20. Pulled down by the Orphans. That'll be a gain of about 13 on the ground for DeMontez Miller-Gray. And if you just joined us again, he eclipsed the 1,000-yard rushing mark for the season here tonight. 10:54 left in the second quarter, 16-15, Orphans on top. Talked with Coach Lonan last night. Talked about the Nashville tournaments coming up the week of Thanksgiving. That is where the Lady Rams will get their start. Numbers appear to be good for their open gyms as well.
When you those pairings at Nashville based on fishing trips, and one didn't happen, so I've been told anything goes.
Anything
wink, wink.
goes. No doubt about that. 2 to the right, 2 to the left for the Rams. Looks like Reeves going to dial his own number here on the quarterback keeper. Gets to about the 20, maybe the 19 for a gain of 2. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Well, it is no defense. I mean, there is none. It doesn't matter if you go left, right, up the middle. There are holes for everybody to get to, and right now there's just absolutely no defense for either team. This one, if it keeps going and it's shaping up that way, the over-under, if you took the over, you're doing well because there is nobody to stop anybody out here tonight.
Well, 10-10 to play in the first half. Rams will split off Tyus to the left side this time, the senior tonight. In motion was Heiner. It's going to be Hester. Actually, pardon me, how could I not recognize 94, Jesse Green into the game? As Hester will make a nice run up the gut, gets inside the 10. It's enough for a first down, as this will be at about the 7-yard line.
I'll tell you, it is crazy offensively. The calculator is going to get overtime here in this one. Greenville's up 28-6 on Gillespie. What a shock as the Comets start putting the Miners down the shaft early in that one.
9:46 to play here in the first half. 16-15 the score. Second quarter action from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. As the Rams have it on the Orphans 8. It's first and goal for Dylan Reeves, who's under center. Split the left and the right in motion. Miller-Gray, who would have suspected, as he will sweep to the near side, fights off a tackler at about the 10, trying to split everybody as he gets to about the 8. Flag is standing at about 11. It's between the hashes. This one's come back on a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah, it's going to work out as a 12-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. So third penalty on the Rams tonight. 2 holding penalties, a little too much laundry tonight. Miller-Gray tried to make something out of nothing there and didn't do much.
WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. Browse Tyler's new Toyota inventory at tylertoyota.net. See how much you can save with the Tyler Toyota e-discount. Totally new. Totally Tyler's. 9:21 left to play here in the first half. They're going to walk off the penalty. Rams still down 1.
It is. Wind at the back of the Rams here in the second quarter. Must have a class reunion down in front of us. Everybody's sitting all close together down here laughing and cheering.
I know the class of 84 is taking this one in tonight.
That must be them.
They're 30 year.
They're down there. I got a football
How's
jersey
that
from the 84, looks like.
How is it 30 years since 1984?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No problem, George Orwell.
First and 21 for the Rams. Reeves is going to run off to the right side, and that's going to be incomplete to Tice at about the 10. You're right, a bootleg, and couldn't get anything out of it. This will be second and 21. Let's see what the Rams come back with here on second down.
That pass was there, and the problem was it was behind him. When he had to reach back to get it, that was the slowdown, and he couldn't get anything going. Carbondale leads Marion 14-13 in the second. What do I know? Nashville, however, taking care of DuQuoin 32-8 very easily. Has the good doctors in the house.
Yeah. Former Ram quarterback.
Yeah. Needs a new shirt,
That'd be a throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
That's become a hit on social media.
Oh.
Find it on Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Reeves under center. The ball between the hashes of the Orphan 21-yard line. Looks like a sweep coming up from the right to the left again for Miller-Gray, trying to fight back to the 10 where he was originally. That'll cut it down a little bit. It'll be a gain of 11. We'll bring up third and goal from the 10.
Yeah, Mount Vernon with 2 plays here. Wind at the back. Not sure if they'll try a field goal if necessary. Down 16-15. The way everybody has scored in this game to get to 16-15, everybody's going to wonder if you look at it from afar, how did you get to 16-15? 31 points in the first quarter. AJ up 28-6 in the second. Ooh.
Hester, Heiner, Miller-Gray, your backs. Reeves looking for the quick connect pass to left side. It's going to be thrown behind Xavier Tice about the 3. And it'll bring up fourth and goal from the 10 with 8:15 left to go in this second quarter. Rams still trailing 16-15.
That's another problem there. As you throw behind your receiver, that guy has to stop, reach back, and by that point the pass is done because that receiver's motion is stopped. Even if he catches it, he's probably going to get tagged pretty quickly. And they're going to try a field goal here.
Whoa!
Of 27 yards. With the wind at the back out of the north, they're going to have to call timeout because they're going to break down. They're going to have to call timeout because they only had 10 guys on the field try the field goal.
This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Dr. Eric Black and staff proudly support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams as well as the local community. Dr. Eric Black and the Medicine Shop, TMS Mobility and Rehab in Mount Vernon. Fourth and goal for the Rams from the 10. 8:15 left to go in this first half. Trailing 16-15 and maybe going to attempt a 27-yard field goal here. I can't recall the last Rams field goal attempt. 2011, I think.
That makes a little difference if you kick it with the wind. You don't, obviously a little extra carry. Golf ball speaking, the compression will help and won't carry as far these days in the cooler fall evenings of October. Have to pinch it a little bit more, as it would say on the golf course. In the grand scheme of things, this game here runs down to who's going to tackle first, just a matter of when, and if you don't tackle, you may not win. Or your offense better score a bunch of points, as the Rams will head out and try this field goal. Wouldn't be a shock for a fake here either. If I'm Centralia, I'd be alive for a fake field goal at this point as well.
Anything could happen at this juncture. Fourth and goal from the 10. 8:15 left. Are they going to try for the field goal? I don't see Dalton McGowan out there. He's on the sideline. So they may have changed their minds.
Yeah, they rethought the process when the 11th guy didn't get on the field during the timeout.
So Reeves will be under center. Same back, split left and right. Wide to the right is going to be Heiner. Off to the right. Now off the option. The Rams will have some issues there. Reeves will pick it up. This is going to be a significant loss. Lost it as he tried to go outside to Hester, who was unaware. At about the 10, so the Rams will turn it over to the Orphans on downs at about the 15, so it'll be about the 14 for the Orphans in their own territory.
Well, he pitched it too late. He got out there, number one, pitch it too late. Two, you can't pitch it like we're sitting side by side with each other. That's too close. The spacing wasn't there. If he'd have pitched it a couple steps earlier, that would have allowed the running back to be able to take off. When he pitched it late, the running back was already heading into blocking mode, and at that point it was ugly and off and running, and a fumble. It turns into a turnover on downs for the first one of the game for the Rams.
Back to the pistol set for the Orphans. 2 split to each side. Quarterback is the freshman Javon Williams Jr. Matisse Scott the back. He's going to get the handoff. And not going to get much as he gets to about the 15.
Should have been offsides. A guy on the end on the right side for the Orphans within a 2-point stance lined up as the 5th guy on the line. He went down from 2 to 3 off the first bark of the snap call. Should have been a penalty on Centralia for movement on the line.
So with 7:46 left to go in the first half, you can watch us online at WMIXsports.com, presented by Rend Lake College, who can save you thousands on your collegiate education. Log on to rlc.edu to find out how. So it'll be 2nd and 9 from the Orphan 15 here as they go left to right. They go look for Scott again. Yes, Matisse gets the carry. They'll get a gain of about 1. It'll be 3rd and 8 with 7:20 to play in this first half. Still 16-15 Centralia.
2 yards running for the Orphans. Crisis, not enough points. Marion up 21-14 on Carbondale, as that game's a little bit closer than expected.
7:06 to play here in the first half. 16-15 game. Rams down 1, trying to stop the Orphans here. 3rd and 7 from the Orphans 17. The ball on the far hash. Out of the pistol set for Ray Collins' crew as the quarterback Williams getting the start. The freshman looking deep downfield. This one could be picked off by Gage Burrows. He will. It's the team's 7th interception of the year. Burrows is going to come to the left side on the return between the hashes to the 40. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams.
What a great play by Burrows. He smoothed over. He was guarding, taking care of one guy going down the field on a straight go pattern. He looked back and saw the ball wasn't going to get it. He peeled off the guy he was covering, went up and played the ball, made the interception, and ran it back to the Orphan 40, and the Rams are in business.
The Rams are at 1st and 10 from the Orphan 40. The ball spotted inside the near hash.
That was a nice piece of defense by Burrows. Well played, well done.
Great angle.
Yeah, and just the way he looked off, followed the receiver.
His 2nd interception of the year, the Rams 9th as a team. 1st and 10 for Reeves and the Rams. Fakes, tries to pitch it to Miller-Gray, picks it up off of what looked to be a dribble. He'll break to the right sideline, get to about the 35. Something out of nothing there as Reeves was coming down, had some issues as he started to trip. Miller-Gray picks it up off of a hop and gets about 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Some days you're living right, and some days you're living right. And that is living right tonight, that's for certain.
That was one good play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Member FDIC. One really means more. Community First Bank. 2nd and 5. Ball on the far hash. Right to left go the Rams. Here in the second quarter with 6:32 to go. Down 1. It's 16-15. 2nd and 5 from the 35. Everybody bunched up there. As now to be pitched come to the near side for Miller-Gray. It's worked so far. Why not continue as he gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe to about the 32-33. It'll be a slight gain. It'll be 3rd and short here for the Rams with 6:27 left to go.
About 4 yards. As this game moves along the offensive way. Oh, Brian Roberts of the Orioles, former Oriole, Yankee now, is going to retire.
Interesting. Battled the injury bug
Yeah.
multiple times over his career. Of course, Rams fans, if you haven't found the time to stop by the new Winning Edge at 212 South 9th, now you can buy your gear online. Log on to store.winningedgeusa.com. That's store.winningedgeusa.com. Hester in motion. Ball in the near hash from the 31. It's 3rd and 1. Rams down a point as they're going Miller-Gray to the right side. Plenty of running room. 30, 25, high steps to about the 22. He's brought down by the Orphans.
Another 10 yards. Good night. Another 10. Just in this quarter alone, he has 53 yards on 6 carries. I mean, it is a run at your will. Run wherever, because the first time you're going to get touched is going to be an arm tackle or a shirt tug or a hug. You're not going to get hit. They may as well take shoulder pads off and strap on the flag football straps.
Now 6:08 to go here in the first half. 16-15, Rams down 1. 1st and 10 from the Centralia 21. Ball on the far hash. Split to the left side into the right. Right is Tyus. Nobody left, or tight left. My apologies. Same three backs. Going to go Jesse Green this time, number 94 on the pitch, as he'll get past the 20 to about the 20, make that the 18. Gain of about 3 for Jesse Green, who's wearing number 94 instead of his usual 4 tonight. And it'll be 2nd and 7 from the Orphan 18.
Some people arrived late, and I'm telling them get on to him down there.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 18. The Rams looking to continue to move the football. 5:25 to play. 16-15, 1-point game. Let's see what the Rams can do here. Under center, the quarterback, Reeves. Heiner, Hester, Miller-Gray, your backs. This is going to be right up the gut for Heiner. Ran off tackle along the hash. Inside the 15 to the 14. Gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Tell me a good color combination on the pins. Keep track of all this offense. I'm on the new set. Miller-Gray's down here on the bench sitting. Now he gets up and puts his helmet on. I don't know if he's out for a breather or what. They want him to come into the game, and he's kind of looked like either he's tired or something. He just doesn't look like his usual self. He was actually sitting down.
50-something yards in the quarter will do that to you. Quarterback Reeves under center. Green, Heiner, and Hester are your backs. Tyus to the left, Waith to the right on the splits. In motion, it's going to be Hester, and this is going to be a handoff inside. Heiner gets inside the 10 to about the 8. First down yardage will bring up 1st and goal for the Rams on the 6-yard gain with 4:30 left to play in this first half.
Settling in right now. The Rams offensive line starting to settle in and starting to get things taken care of.
Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs, Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to personal banking, member FDIC. Welcome back to 1st and goal for the Rams from the 8. Reeves is going to send everybody. Nope, going to have a wing back to the right side. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Heiner the lone back. As he's looking for a quick connect left side on the dive. Can Tyus hang on? No. Shoestring level. Couldn't hang on to it. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock stops with 4:03.
Good play call that time by Mount Vernon. Everybody was pinched in. 11 guys with about 5 yards of line of scrimmage. And, of course, Mount Vernon with a quick slant from that 5-yard line. And the pass was there. Hit him in the hands. Dropped to the ground.
Second quarter action from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Senior night, pink out night, big night here for the Rams as they look to continue their offensive onslaught. After an Orphan interception, trying to turn it into 6 here on 2nd and goal from the 8. Ball in the near hash, Reeves under center, lone back, 3 right, 1 left. And now Miller-Gray's going to come out of the slot. He'll take the pitch off to the right side, bounces off an Orphan tackler, far corner of the end zone, and it's going to be an 8-yard touchdown run for DeMontez Miller-Gray. It is 21-16. Do you go for 2 here like you did earlier to try to make it a 6-point game again?
Yeah, another touchdown, another 8-yard run. 12 carries. He's got over almost close to 200 yards and starting to rack up a lot of yardage here tonight in this one.
So now 3:57 left to go. We'll see what the Rams do with the point after attempt. Right now, you need to always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account. It's free checking and high-yield interest. Member Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Now Vernon will go for 2. Up by 5, trying to make it 7.
And this is going to be a fake handoff by Reeves. He's going to roll left side, and he is going to, is he going to get in or just miss? He'll be just short. Can't hit the pylon on the dive. Great effort by Dillon on the run. And he'll stay 21-16.
Wow. Another touchdown, another score. The run was no good. And this game is a scoring fest. Rochester will begin the second half down 18-14 at Decatur MacArthur.
It's interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I have a feeling they'll return.
Yeah, Decatur Mac back in that conference now, CSA, or into conference. Provides a little different type of football for Rochester to look at.
The MacArthur Generals.
As the lights, darkness take full effect, anybody out there in their cars out around the field, if you're out there, flash your lights if you're listening. A lot of people probably here in the stands tonight, as nice as the weather is.
Great weather, pink out night for a great cause.
Great turnout from Centralia.
They have something to hope for with the playoffs still within reach.
A lot of push-ups tonight for the cheerleaders.
No doubt about that. The award-winning Mount Vernon Rams cheerleaders. As the Rams set to kick off, back to return will be Reeves and Webster for the Orphans. Say that 3 times fast, as this one will be a line drive off of the Orphans to about the 25. It'll be Reeves to pick it up, and then he'll slip to a knee at about the 28. They'll go ahead and give to the 29. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Orphans in Mount Vernon territory. 3:52 left to go in the first half. We'll have your Second Chance Auto halftime show coming up at the break.
The old Turf Demon jumped up and got that returner.
Yes, sir.
Jumped up and said, boo, I'm here.
Both teams on the road next week as the Orphans travel to Mascoutah. The Rams head to Mount Carmel. Of course, you combine the latter two schools, the two opponents, Mascoutah and Mount Carmel. That was an epic playoff battle in 06.
We get to climb the steps, check out the hill there at the pit.
Uh-huh.
It's an interesting field.
It's interesting setup. Everything's interesting about it.
Speaking of that, did you see the football field built on top of the school today?
I did.
That's crazy.
As out of the pistol, what's crazier, handoff to Scott as he'll get to about the 30. Crazy, it's only going to be about a 1, 2, 3 yard gain to bring up 2nd and 7.
When I saw that picture on a website, I thought it was like an old fairgrounds thing where you had the old fairground stuff and then you set it up. Looked like they closed that in. Then they said it was on top of a school. I thought, how unique would that be?
Well, then when I saw it, I thought, oh, what's the City Museum in St. Louis up to now? You know, that just seems like something you'd see over there. But ended up an actual high school football field in use and pretty clever. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for the Orphans out of the pistol. Quarterback number 2, Javon Williams Jr., getting the start as a freshman. Scott in motion. He'll go left. Not going to look for him in the flat. They'll overthrow Maines. The slot man to the right overthrew him at about the 40, and it'll be 3rd and 7 now for Centralia with 3:10 left.
Such gorgeous weather this week compared to last week when it was rainy and muddy and stuff. And the field out there, you know, the sun really didn't come out till yesterday. Looks to me to be a little soft and spongy in places and maybe not up to, you know, you're still going to slip and slide around a little bit.
And now 3:10 left to go here in the second quarter. 21-16, Rams on top. Pistol set for the Orphans. 3rd and 7 from their own 33 on the near hash. Williams back to pass. His back foot slipped. It'll be a completed pass at about the 35. Complete, looks like to Webster. He'll battle for first down yardage at the 45 for a gain of 12.
Missed tackle.
That is Reeves, I'm sorry, not Webster.
And they had him knocked off. They had him tackled, and he busted through on these shirt grabs, and because of that, it ended up being a first down.
First down with just under 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
That is the problem.
So
missed tackles again.
1st and 10 for the Orphans. The ball on the Centralia 45 near hash spot with 2:44 left to go here in this second quarter. 21-16 again the score. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Williams looking to the left, completes the pass to number 24, Keyshawn Marshall. He's going to make a break for it well past midfield, past the 30, down at about the 20, pulled out of bounds by Tyus. And that'll stop the clock with 2:30 left, making 1st and 10.
35 yards.
Big first down for the Orphans.
And the Orphans march again. Boy, I'll tell you what, there's no defense in this game. Man, nobody is doing anything. Decatur MacArthur now at 24-14.
Interesting.
Opening kickoff ran back, I believe. So now DMAC, not the DMAC up by Deer Creek Mackinac, but Decatur MacArthur now at 10 on the 4-time defending Class 4A state champs.
3 to the right for the Orphans, 1 to the left out of the pistol for this freshman quarterback Williams, who's having a heck of a night thus far. He'll take the high snap, and he will keep it himself, rolling to the left side, finds first down yardage as he lunges forward. Everybody bought on Matisse Scott with the carry, but Williams rolled left, went sideline, and gets past the 15 to about, let's see, they're a spot. Wow, he was inside the 10.
So you have a freshman that is playing like a senior tonight here at Centralia. I'm telling you what, that's somebody special that a lot of South 7 schools are going to be tired of seeing over the next 3 years. And now we have a timeout to Mount Vernon.
This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway here in the Kings City. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and the Lady Rams. Past the top of the hour, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Rams Radio Network.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX and WMIX FM. Mount Vernon, Marion, Effingham, Withers, Broadcasting Superstations.
J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium tonight on Pink Out Night and Senior Night in the midst of a Medicine Shop timeout on the Community First Bank Rams football coverage. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. 2:03 left to go in the first half. Rams call the timeout. Backs against the wall on 1st and goal here for the Orphans. On the Mount Vernon 7, Orphans with a touchdown, obviously would take a 22-21 lead. And if you're the Rams, still leaves you some time with the way your offense has moved the football to get another score before the break. But I guess you're looking for a silver lining. Should you allow a TD, you do have the football to start the second half.
You do have the football. You do have that. But the defense and both teams have got to figure it out. I mean, Centralia's marching this ball down the field so easy. You just have to wonder, at what point do you just kind of say, okay, hey, you're going to have to make an adjustment. I mean, nobody's tackling anybody out there right now.
3 to the right for the Orphans, 1 to the left. Out of the pistol for the freshman quarterback who, as DC said, and accurately portrayed, playing like a senior tonight. 1st and goal from the 7. Far hash spot. It looks like Matisse Scott's going to be sniffed out of the backfield. Looks like, I thought I saw Ezra, among others, in on the tackle. Actually, Brighton Steele in on it.
A lot of
Curry.
Black and pink jerseys there.
Pink Out Night. The Rams in their black tops with pink numerics and pink lettering here on Pink Out Night. All the proceeds for those sponsorship sales go to Susan G. Komen for the Cure, as well as the Pink Out T-shirt sales, and the Pink Out long sleeve T-shirt sales, and the Pink Out hoodies, and the Pink Out rally towels. Here tonight, out of the pistol, 3 right, 1 left. Matisse Scott, the lone back here for the freshman quarterback, Javon Williams Jr. And now this is going to be Scott again. He'll run right, and he will be brought down at about the 9. So maybe a no-gainer after a 2-yard loss will bring up 3rd and goal either way with 1:10 to play in the first half.
Hey, you know what? Nobody's hiding anything tonight. That's for certain. Nobody's doing a thing as far as, hey, we're covering up. We're not telling you who's coming. We're going to do trickery. It's Matisse Scott versus DeMontez Miller-Gray, and we're going to run it, and here's who's going to get it.
It's you know us, we know you football here tonight between these two South 7 Conference nemesis. 50 seconds left in the half, 21-16 Orphans. Trailed by a touchdown, but looking to threaten here. 3rd and goal as the play clock will drop to nothing, and they will call a timeout. Presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams. 21-16 here. The Rams up 5. Orphans threatening with 3rd and goal from the 7. It'll be a spot between the hashes now as they centered it a moment ago.
Well, it is a tough little game here. And right now, this game is all offense. And at this point, Centralia knocking on the door, and it looked like to me that Coach Colling wanted to have a few moments to think about the life and world in general as far as what can I do on this handoff, or what can I do, not on handoff, but on this offensive play. And with 41.8 to go, Centralia still has 2 timeouts left. You have options here with Scott, with Williams to maybe run a little option, maybe run maybe a spread out to the wide side of the field. You got options either way there because the ball's sitting centered in the middle of the field. So this is a case here where Centralia's kind of got everything their way. 3rd down inside the 10.
So now with 41.8 seconds left after the timeout, 3rd and goal for the Orphans from the 7. Out of the pistol, split to the right side is Webster, 3 on the left, with Marshall, Reeves, and company over that way. Scott in motion will go left. Looking left side for the pass, and that one is almost picked off, but it is completed to Dorian Reeves. That'll bring up 4th down and goal as that was completed right about the line of scrimmage, and the clock will be at 30.
Yeah, that pass went nowhere. Kind of interesting play call.
No gain on the completion.
No play, no gain. That was an interesting call. I did not expect Centralia to do that when they cleared the backfield. 2 timeouts left, time running down. Ray Calling going to be patient. Will he call another timeout?
Probably buy some time to think.
Well, I mean, you're wasting a little bit of time here. Of course, he doesn't want Mount Vernon to have any time.
Of course, that's dangerous when he starts thinking because it's like, what's he going to come up with that's going to burn you? So we'll see what happens. Timeout, Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. 3.1 seconds left. Orphans down 21-16. The Rams trying to bend but not break here on 4th and goal from the 7. And the Rams defense, momentum-wise, could definitely use a big stop going into the halftime locker room with a lead.
You're playing Russian roulette here, I think, if you're Ray Calling. You're letting that much time roll off the clock. 4th down, 1 play left, basically. And now you're going to have to go a little longer here. 4th down, 6 seconds to go, I guess, 3.1 now. And I was surprised when they rolled everybody out of the backfield and then went away from Matisse Scott and went another direction. And you wonder with the type of play call that was done there, if that was set up to maybe for the next play to see where the defense would trail there and see what would happen.
So we'll see what happens here coming out of the timeout. 4th and goal from the 7-yard line. 21-16 is the score. Rams hanging on by 5 over the Orphans. 3.1 seconds left to go. And just what are the Orphans going to do out of the timeout? We'll find out. Stay tuned for your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll recap this first half. We'll have a Bird Watson Drugs scoreboard, scoring and stats, and much more. Pistol set, 3 right, 1 left here with 4th and goal from the 7. Ball on the far hash. They're going left to right. Williams, the quarterback. Matisse Scott in motion with 3.1 seconds left, and there's a flag.
Has a flinch on the offensive line. Yep, Centralia was trying to draw Mount Vernon off sides. It didn't work, and because of that, it was a flinch and a 5-yarder.
So that'll push it back. What other pay here dealership offers the largest selection of quality, dependable vehicles in one location at a great price and family owned and operated for 35 years? Well, the answer is simple. It's Second Chance Auto. Stop by their impressive lot out Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. 4th and 12. 4th and goal from the 12, I should say.
That shouldn't now timeout Centralia. No,
Timeout Mount Vernon, presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Dr. Eric Black and staff proudly support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams from 2339
That's a
Broadway.
great timeout by Coach Shaner. He had Matisse Scott already clearing out of the backfield. He gets that timeout moments before Centralia snaps it. He gets to see kind of where everybody was going. So this is akin to in basketball late in the game where the team with the ball rolls out and sets up, the other team calls a timeout, and then all of a sudden comes back the other way. And now, what will the play call be? You've seen a couple different ways, couple different things. What will that play call be in this case?
That's going to be interesting here. It'll be 4th and goal from the 12, 3.1 seconds left. And out of the last timeout, the only thing that happened with the Orphans was a false start penalty that pushed them back another 5. Showing the hand early out of the timeout huddle. It'll be a pistol set here with the quarterback, Javon Williams Jr. Split to the right side. It'll be Maines, Reeves, and Marshall. Split to the left. It'll be Webster. The lone back in the backfield is Matisse Scott.
Pistol set, 3 receivers out wide right. Single coverage on them. Man only for the Rams.
3.16 to go on 4th and goal. Scott will be in motion to the right. Looking to pass. It's going to be, in and out of the hands at the goal line. Intended for Reeves, and that is how your half is going to end. After 2, the Mount Vernon Rams 21, the Centralia Orphans 16. The Rams head to the locker room on top by 5. We'll come back and talk about it on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
More Americans are on the move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I have been suffering with carpal tunnel for years, just coping with the symptoms of tingling in my fingers and gradually getting worse to the total numbness of my hands. My fingers were so numb and swollen, I couldn't even bend them. It was waking me up several times at night, and I was exhausted all day.
If this sounds familiar, you may be suffering from a condition called carpal tunnel syndrome. Dr. Ahn at the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois specializes in treatment of the hand and wrist and treats carpal tunnel as well as treatment of the shoulder and elbow. He performs a minimally invasive procedure on patients who fail to respond to non-surgical methods of treatment. Endoscopic carpal tunnel release is a surgical treatment used to minimize pain, reduce scarring, reduce therapy, and allows patients to resume normal activities in a short period of time. Endoscopic surgery is a highly effective treatment and has been used for more than 20 years. For an appointment, please call Dr. Hahn at the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois at 242-3778 or visit us online at orthocenter-si.com.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Ridley College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321 extension 1207 or visit rlc.edu.
Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon offers great quality cars at bank rate financing. That's great news. Who else in the area can offer you that? For nearly 35 years, they've been helping people with good and not so good credit get a good vehicle at a good price. Just make your payments on time, and they'll save you thousands of dollars on the total price of your vehicle. Find out if you qualify by calling Jimmy and the crew at Second Chance Auto today at 244-4582. Second Chance Auto. Or stop by Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. You won't be disappointed.
Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Second Chance Auto halftime show starts now.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Here at the half at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, the Mount Vernon Rams have a 21-16 lead over the Centralia Orphans. With Danny Czerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow has the camera for WMIXsports.com. Hunter Schrader, seat parked there at the Powerhouse on Broadway back at our Mount Vernon studios. 21-16 here at the half. Rams up by 5 over the Orphans. And how about that defense that really came alive there in the second quarter?
Kind of picked up a notch. Not very many points. The defense has started keeping things between the 20s, as they say. And the Rams were able to hold on to a lead, and that's important to see.
Important to see indeed. We'll have plenty to discuss here on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll talk about the first half that was, how the first quarter was so much different than the second quarter. We'll also talk about what the Rams and Orphans both need to do in the third and fourth quarters. One, for the Orphans, keep their playoff hopes alive, but for the Rams, get a big win here on Senior Night. We need to take a break. We'll come back. More to discuss on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
This is Rob Phillips with Schmidt Ford of Salem. With over a decade of coaching youth football, I know what it takes to have a strong lineup, and here at Schmidt Ford we have it. Whether it's the strength of the #1 selling pickup for the past 38 years, the Ford F-150, or the speed of the Mustang GT, we have put together a winning team. With big rebates or 0% financing, now is the time for you to own a new Ford. Come in and let Coach Phillips or any of our sales staff lead you to victory at Schmidt Ford, 1815 West Main, Salem, Illinois.
Rams fans, check out the Rams apparel at Winning Edge. They have the largest supply of MVTHS t-shirts, hoodies, golf shirts, caps, bags, and more. If you can't find the right item, they'll customize it for you. In addition to the great selection of Rams gear, Winning Edge specializes in screen printing and embroidery, which are the longest-lasting promotional items. Winning Edge will get you the right active wear for your business, school, or event, and will help you make a lasting impression. Find Winning Edge downtown at 212 South 9th Street, on the web at winningedgeusa.com, and on Facebook.
Find us on Facebook. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Second Chance Auto halftime show. 21-16, Rams on top here at the break over the Centralia Orphans. We see how it happens with the scoring and stats.
Well, the scoring and stats in the first half, Mount Vernon had 11 first downs to 8 for Centralia. Turnovers are even at 1. Penalties, Mount Vernon 3 for 29. Centralia 2 for 10. Rushing, though, Mount Vernon 240 yards rushing in the first half, 185 of those unofficially for DeMontez Miller-Gray. The Orphans only had 91 yards rushing. The Rams threw for 15 yards. Centralia threw for 124. Mount Vernon goes 255 in the first half, 255 yards to 215 for the Orphans, to give you a halftime score of Mount Vernon 21, Centralia 16.
21-16 here at the break. You take a look at some of those scoring and stats. You look at DeMontez Miller-Gray. You look at Matisse Scott. You look at the running game tonight for both teams, and maybe, I think you said it best at some point in the second quarter. You said neither team really hiding anything. They're just going at it and showing what they have. And two phenomenal running backs in the South 7 Conference tonight, two seniors in Matisse Scott and DeMontez Miller-Gray.
No mistake that these two teams are just kind of throwing it out there and going. And, of course, what is happening is the offenses are running wild up and down the field. Now in the second quarter, there weren't as many points, but the total yardage racked up as they stayed between the 20s. So teams cranked her down, both of them, but the yardage was still there. Both teams still had some more corrections to do, as this game's only a one-score game as we get ready here in a few minutes to start the third quarter.
We will. An extended halftime here on senior night. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll tell you more as the Mount Vernon Rams lead the Centralia Orphans 21-16 here at the half. This is your Second Chance Auto halftime show. So glad to be here with you tonight, which Buy Here, Pay Here dealership offers the largest selection of quality, dependable vehicles in one location at a great price, and family owned and operated for 35 years. Well, the answer is Second Chance Auto. Stop by their impressive lot at Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Longtime supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get you set with probably some scores from around the area tonight with the Bird Watson Drugs scoreboard. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
This is Chase with Landers Collision Centers. Because of our recent growth of animal vandalism, we have decided to increase production in our shop. Yes, we've heard and seen it all. From that deer decided to take out the whole side of my car, oh, and he must have flipped over and keyed the other side too, to I swear that gopher popped out of the manhole with the chain to my bumper and ripped it off, to unlawful amounts of bird bombs being dropped from the trees and destroying paint jobs. So you can understand our dilemma, which is why Landers Collision is asking for experienced body repair technicians to come and see us. This is not an apprenticeship position. We are ready to put you to work. Growth of both our Salem and Mount Vernon facilities has required us to reach out to the best techs available for the job. Paid vacation and holidays, plus a 401k plan are just a few of the perks for joining this rapidly growing company. Again, Landers Collision Centers is looking for the best to join the best in collision repair in Southern Illinois. Come see us at 2501 Benton Road in Mount Vernon, or give us a call at 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
There's no other Toyota dealership like it in the region. It's totally technical, chic, and totally new.
Tyler Toyota. Like car heaven.
It's totally brand new.
Totally built for you.
Welcome to Tyler Toyota, the best car and truck buying experience in Southern Illinois. Total.
Totally.
We're celebrating the grand opening. Newly renovated and highly celebrated Tyler Toyota. Totally.
Toyota.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
Welcome back. WMIX, WMIXSports.com. Your Second Chance Auto halftime show continues. 21-16. Mount Vernon on top of Centralia here at the break. We have some scores from around the region, presented by Bird Watson Drugs.
We'll start in the South 7. Everybody is at halftime, incidentally enough. So we'll go Nashville over DuQuoin, 32-16. Carterville over Pinckneyville, 28-14. AJ over Sparta, 28-6. Heron over Harrisburg, 56-7. Murphy over Benton, 36-6. And Massac County over West Frankfort, 14-6. That's river to river. South 7, Altoff over Cahokia, 14-8 and a dandy. Marion leads Carbondale to half, 28-14. BDC, Carmi over the Red Devils of SVWW, 29-16. Chester over El Dorado, 7-0 at the half. Johnston City over Fairfield, 21-14 at the half. And Mount Carmel Illinois leads Boonville, Indiana, 28-0 at the half. Bree Central over Westland, 21-6. Triad over Waterloo, 14-7. Highland was leading Mascoutah in the second, 28-6. And Effingham is leading Mount Zion, 24-14. That was in the second quarter.
Bird Watson Drug and Mount Vernon will make life easier for you. They will bring their pharmacy right to your door with free prescription delivery service. Bird Watson Drug, 2 locations to serve you better, 34th and Broadway and 12th and Main here at Mount Vernon. We need to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about the first half and foreshadow the second here. This is the Second Chance Auto halftime show. Rams lead the Orphans here, 21-16 at the break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Dig in with full-contact coal miner training at Red Lake College. Learn in our new 20,000 square feet coal mine training center. Use real equipment like continuous miners and power setters. And check out the new mine rescue and fire safety training tunnel. Associate degree and occupational certificates available.
We're full contact, hands-on coal mine, real equipment, real live all the time.
What are you waiting for? Call 618-437-5321 and get started.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crown View in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depends on your hometown professional. Pekin Insurance.
Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
Welcome back on your Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. The Mount Vernon Rams lead the Centralia Orphans here at the half, 21-16. And what a first half it was, just when it looked like we wouldn't see any defense. We finally saw some defense step up in that second quarter.
Defense did step up, and defense did a really good job of a lot of things in that second quarter, as I mentioned. The yardage was still racking up, and, of course, you know, you look at things, and you look at what's got to happen here. I mean, it's no secret what everybody's going to try to do in this game. They're going with their strengths. They're going with what got them there, and that, to me, is where you're sitting at. And for Mount Vernon to hold Centralia just only a touchdown in that second quarter, you have to feel pretty good. You have to feel pretty good about yourselves and what you did there. The passing game has been to little or no effect. I know Centralia had a couple passes that worked out well, but you've got to think that the running game is where these two teams are going to make it happen, and the defenses are going to have to step up and hit somebody whether they want to or not.
Well, we'll see how these defenses labor into the second half, but for the offenses, the runners, especially Matisse Scott and DeMontez Miller-Gray, must be awfully exhausted.
And I thought, like I mentioned in the second quarter, DeMontez Miller-Gray was sitting here on the end of the bench below us on the Mount Vernon side and wasn't doing much. They looked over for him. He was sitting on the bench, and he got up slowly, and they told him just rest out a couple of plays. So he either is dinged up a little bit, maybe physically tired. We don't know, but we assume if he's not on the field, something's got to be wrong. And, of course, with Mount Vernon, that's a prime part of your offense. But, again, that's where you have to look to see if Mount Vernon can get anything going there through that running game.
Well, we'll see what happens with the running games as the second half gets underway. The teams will be making their way back onto the field soon. And we need to talk about what they need to do in the second half for either of these teams to win this ball game. More Second Chance Auto Halftime Show to come. We'll take our final break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois High School sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac in Mount Vernon has a state-of-the-art collision center, impeccable in reputation and second to none. When your vehicle needs repairs, come see us. Our collision center offers expert repairs using top-quality products at competitive prices on any brand of vehicle. We work directly with most major insurance companies to make your visit as easy as possible. You'll get fast turnaround guaranteed. Customer satisfaction is our #1 goal at Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
Welcome back, WMIX FM, WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Glad to have you with us for your Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. 3-minute conditioning clock in effect as both teams are back on the field. The Rams and the Orphans. The Mount Vernon Rams have a 21-16 lead here at the break. And as you take a look ahead to quarters 3 and 4, for the Orphans, your playoff hopes are on the line. For the Rams, emotional night. Want to get a win here if you're the seniors on senior night.
Well, these two teams have averaged 73 points between them the last 3 times they played. They're currently at 37. So this starting to head down that trail again of offensive craziness. And I would think, as I mentioned in the pregame, I would think you have to be ready for anything if you're Centralia, because Mount Vernon has nothing to lose. They can come out here and pull things out of the playbook they haven't put out there all year. If you're Centralia, it's more dire for you because you've got to get going. You have to win this week. You're going to play a Mascoutah team that's getting their heads handed to them tonight by Highland. They're going to be down even though they're at home, but it's a case where Centralia has to come out and be ready to go.
Well, and how do you get ready to go if you're either of these two teams? I mean, your running game obviously was in full force here in the first half. Your defense has stood a little bit stronger in the second quarter. What do you need to do for either team to get the win here?
Centralia, if you can't get ready to go in this situation in the last 2 quarters for a playoff spot, then I don't know what's going to get you going. If you're a football player, you don't need to be out there suited up. If you're the Rams, seniors, you have one more half of football here. You don't want to lose your last home game ever to the Orphans, have to live with that the rest of the time. You don't want to sit here and lose on such a fine night and fabulous night as Pink Out Night. You want to come out here and play. This is about being inspired. This is about doing the right thing. This is about being fired up for this and get out here and go. Mount Vernon will start with the ball in the second half, so Mount Vernon has to come out here ready to go. This is your opportunity to get another score and get up big as you head into this third quarter.
Well, in the third quarter, the Rams need to stand strong, but they have the football to start the second half. We'll see how that works out. 21-16, Mount Vernon on top of Centralia as we head to your second half. With Danny Czerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow has the camera for WMIXsports.com. Hunter Schrader is back at the Mount Vernon studio here tonight. We're not far from that, actually.
No, I can see the studio from here, just over yonder.
Behind whatever that is, a few blocks from here, I see a big tower.
Yep, big old WMIX tower.
And there you go. There's that.
Yeah, there is that. Good call.
I was a little test on your part.
No, no. Mute. Mute.
Does not compute as we get ready for second half action.
Looking forward to this crazy second half.
I am as well.
I think anything can go here. Centralia will kick what is now not a stiff wind.
Oh, it won't be.
Uh-oh. Mr. Hugo is delivering towels.
Classmate of mine.
Classmate.
I'm going to give him whatever rally towels I have left.
Spread them out. Throw them out.
Even if I have 85 back at the station.
That's all right. String them out.
I never get to see my buddy much anymore.
Yeah, that's good. That's important.
These
old high school class reunions.
Little sis worked for us for a time.
These old high school class reunions, you walk in, of course, you kind of got that.
Well, we're not the class 84, though.
No, but we're not. But I'm saying in general, in trepidation of walking up and seeing people you haven't seen in a while or in a few years or since you walked out the doors of your high school, it's always interesting to see what goes on, how people react.
It is, and we'll see how the Rams react here on the kickoff. Back to return, Jesse Green and DeMontez Miller-Gray. Will it get that far? It won't. It'll be picked up at about the 24. That looks like Jylen Rush over there on the far side. Gets to the 40, and that's where the Mount Vernon Rams will have it here to start the second half. 1st and 10. That was Tyus, my apologies.
Or you get hugs down here. People walk in late and didn't see somebody. Oh, my gosh, you're here. All right, It's a cool thing about reunions. Some people don't like them. I do, just kind of.
I didn't go to mine, and I regret it.
I've been to every one since we've had one in my group, and it's been fun. And then, same people show up or not, or new people. It's been cool. Yeah. Some people you haven't seen in X number of years since you walked out the door. Well, here we go. We'll see if anybody's defense shows up here in this second half.
Quarterback Reeves will be under center. 1st and 10 from the Mount Vernon 40. Ball in the far hash. Right to left they go. It was an inside handoff. Now it's going to be a pitch to the outside for Miller-Gray. Along the hash, past midfield. Drags the guy to the 40. And he'll lose it, but it looked like he might have been down. Doesn't look like the officials are going to go that route. Thought he had a knee down at about the 43. Rams are trying to argue that he was down. Does not appear to be. So it'll be a turnover for the Rams, and the Orphans get it right back.
23-yard carry, and the worst part is Miller-Gray is still down at the 38. Came down very awkwardly on the tackle.
And so that is not what you want to see.
No.
If you're the Mount Vernon Rams. 11:42 left to go, and I think at this point your focus is on the health of DeMontez Miller-Gray.
Yeah,
with 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. There's a 10-2 DMG over there along the 42-yard line.
He's up, being assisted off and not putting any weight on the left leg, ankle, knee whatsoever. Now trying to, and he'll get help and assistance. Yes, there you go. Some of them big linemen come out and help carry him off.
He'll get help from Mr. Hopkins as well as Mr. Roberson.
And there is no weight being put on the left leg. So I would say DMG's night is not going to begin anytime soon, or at least continue, I should say.
So on the fumble, the Orphans will have it 1st and 10 from their own 34. Near hash spot, left to right they go here to start the second half. Out of the pistol for the freshman quarterback, Ray Collins' offense here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, as Williams will work again from the pistol. Shotgun with the running back behind. That running back is Matisse Scott. He'll go but up the gut to about the 35. Forward progress in a favorable spot would give him a gain of 1 for 2nd and 9 with 11:30 to go here in the third.
Not much there.
Really wasn't.
Not much there.
It's pink out night. It's senior night. At the half, HOSA released some balloons that helped raise money for Susan G. Komen for the Cure. FBLA is the host of Pink Out Night. That stands for, I believe, Health Occupation Students of America and Future Business Leaders of America. I could be wrong on the HOSA. Just an uneducated guess. 11:10 to play here in the third quarter. Still out of the pistol for the Orphans. Been successful under Ray Collins' tenure as head coach. 2nd and 9 now. Back to pass. 2-step drop. That is going to be complete to Webster. Webster's going to find some room as he'll roll between the hashes. Pulled down by Heiner at the 49. Gain of 14 makes it 1st and 10 with 10:45 to play here in the half.
And that's the way if high school teams want to pass the football to me, if you're going to do that, short, quick hitters will work just like running the football, and that's the key. You okay there? You got kind of jacked up and fired up that duct tape. I didn't know what you were going to do.
I don't know.
Thought you were going to option. I didn't know if I should block or we were too close for the pitch. I hope you listened to me a while ago.
I did. I caught that note. 10:40 to play in the third. 21-16 the score. Orphans with the football. They trail by 5. Split to the right, 2 to the left. Actually, 2 on each side, 1 in each slot, I should say. Out of the pistol, the quarterback going to keep it himself. Breaks a tackle, finds the running room past midfield. He's pulled down at the 35. It'll be a gain of 15 depending upon the spot. And the Orphans starting to move the football at will after the turnover.
15 yards there, 14 on the pass, 29 total. And there go the Orphans down the field in the Rams territory. And kind of little motivation, a little more breath into the Orphans seeing DeMontez Miller-Gray go out. And they are starting to spur away.
The EMG was making a strong case to be the Tony Wilt State Farm Player of the Game. Tony Wilt, glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com. Or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. Ball's at the 35 in Ram territory, far hash, and this is going to be a direct snap as this will be off tackle left. Maybe a gain of about 3, maybe 4, depending upon the spot to bring up 2nd down at about 6. Drop below the 10-minute mark here in the third quarter.
Trouble. Big run, turnover. You lose your best running back, who I don't see anywhere on the sideline. And Kerry Hammond must be looking somewhere at DeMontez Miller-Gray.
He's at about the 25.
Is he standing up?
Yeah, he's
walking it off, yeah. There's not much movement.
I think he just rubbed some dirt on it. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. If it's a high ankle sprain, you're going to need more dirt.
More man than most of us, whatever it is. Empty backfield out of the shotgun. The quarterback looking downfield. Pass interference on the Rams. It was intended for Reeves. It's about the 10, right over the top, but that'll be PI.
It was. You could see it, contact before the ball got to the receiver. That's a pass interference penalty in high school football. Doesn't matter if you can catch it or not. Receiver got a hand on it. It'll be from the line of scrimmage. It will not be where the flag is thrown. That's a misconception of a lot of fans, confusing the rules from the high school to college to pro game over the weekends.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. Visit the new and improved Tyler's locations just west of Interstates 57 and 64 in Mount Vernon. Tyler's Toyota and Tyler's Buick GMC. Totally new, totally Tyler's. As this will take it to the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Centralia. 9:18 to play here in the third quarter. 21-16 the score. Mount Vernon's still on top. But with the way the Orphans are moving the football, how much longer? Such a great night for the Rams offensively thus far. See if the defense can step up like they did most of the second quarter. Out of the pistol, 2 to the right, 2 to the left for the Orphans. Matisse Scott going to get the carry. He's going to maybe hit pay dirt here, so he'll go into the far corner of the end zone. 17-yard gain as he ran along the hash, bobbing and weaving back and forth, and then finally cut far side. Makes it in for score, and it's going to be 22-16 Centralia.
That was a next-level run. Move to the left, move to the right, back to left, touchdown. And the Orphans are on the board in the third quarter and have the lead.
Now, if you're the Orphans, do you go for 2 to try to make it a field goal, knowing that the Rams have not attempted one all season?
Yeah, might. Keeps the pattern going of alternate scores on my scorebook. Neat.
So now Scott will head in motion. He'll go split left, and this is going to be the quarterback direct snap. Can he lean forward for the score? They're going to say he does not get in. So Williams Jr. tried to run it in himself. It won't happen. 9:12 to go here in the third quarter. It's 22-21. The Orphans only up 1.
Well, nice little defensive stop there by Mount Vernon. We're going to have ourselves a dandy one here. 22-21. I'm telling you what, there's so much offense everywhere. It's just kind of like, ugh.
I'm curious to see exactly what is going to happen now and how the Rams will come back if they are without DeMontez Miller-Gray, and just see what they're going to be able to do.
Interesting. DeMontez Miller-Gray is over here in front of the water cooler. Not able to do much. I mean, he's moving and walking on it and doing all those things. But as far as game action, football ready to make a cut, run fast like we're used to seeing, probably not going to happen soon.
Well, that's a bird of a different feather when it comes from walking to game play.
Yeah, see how he's stretching. You don't want to run on it. That's a tough get right there.
So it looks like it is going to be Darius Johnson and Jesse Green back to return.
Centralia kicking into a faint breeze, almost a zephyr. Maybe a little stronger than that with the wind whipping through the flag.
As the warm weather turns to chilly on a Friday night in October, this is going to go bounce off to the right. Picked up at about the 20. Did a favor there, did Tyus, but he'll run it up that right sideline, get to about the 35. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Rams. That one looked to be headed out of bounds, but maybe he saw a bounce that wasn't going to happen. With 9:06 left in the third, the Rams get the football down 1. It's 22-21.
Yeah, that's a tough one there because that ball could have went out of bounds. You could have started at the 40. But as it is, get it close to the 40.
9:06 left in the third. Split to the right. Waith on the left, it's Tyus. Your backs are Hester, Heiner, and in motion, Jalen Rush. And he's going to get the sweep carry to the near side. He will break between the hashes to the 45. He's midfield, 45-40, cuts back far, 30, 25, 20, 15. Matisse Scott will drag him down at about the 15. That's going to be a 55-yardish gain for Jalen Rush, who coincidentally wears number 5.
55-yard run up the middle, and Matisse Scott was the only guy in a white jersey that could get to him. And boy, oh boy, the Rams in business again in the offensive slugfest these two teams have put on heading into their 4th year in a row, scoring so many points.
Well, they combined for what felt like 185 that one time.
It's like if you get through the initial line, everybody's sucked up so close to the line of scrimmage, you lose sight and you're gone. Then everybody has to turn to chase you.
1st and 10 from the 11 for the Rams. Ball in the far hash. Heiner's going to get the inside handoff. It's maybe a few on the play. He went past the 10 along that far hash, maybe to about the 7. So let's say 2nd and 6 with 8:28 to play. Here in the third quarter, 22-21, Centralia on top.
Listen to these score totals. 22, 40, 44, 35, 63, 57, 37, 14, 28. I mean, here we go again.
A lot of offense around the region tonight. 2nd and 5 from the 6. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Reeves going to roll off left. He's going to have to beat a defender. And he is going to drag a defender to about the 10, which was impressive because he was dead to rights at about the 13. So actually what turned into a decent run, all things considered for the Rams, to bring up 3rd down.
Couldn't get away. Option rolling to his left, not there, and unfortunately the Rams lose yardage there.
Not in a position to throw it away, and there you go. So your backs now. Heiner's going to check out. Hester, Rush. Now missing the other back here. 7:31 mark of this third quarter. It'll be Jesse Green, the other. Number 94 checks in as a wingback with 7:24 to go in the third. 22-21 the score. Split to the right and to the left in motion. It's Hester. Reeves turnaround pass. Complete, as that is going to be complete for the touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown pass for Dylan Reeves to Jylen Rush, who was in motion, came right to left, found himself with a bullet in the end zone, and it is 27-22.
Well, Mount Vernon comes back. Touchdown pass, Reeves to Rush.
That was one great play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Jylen Rush, a junior, back next year.
They'll click slant that time.
Jesse Green, a junior, back next year.
Now, Vernon was able to connect. First time they've connected on a pass since the first quarter.
7:15 left in the third, and a 10-yard touchdown pass makes it 27-22. The Rams are going to go for a deuce to try to make it a 7-point lead. Split left and right, Reeves under center. He's looking for the pass. Going to go fade route for Tyus into the end zone. Does he get a foot down? And he does. They're going to finally rule that it's good on an impressive fade pattern, as Tyus was able to get a foot down and not juggle the football. Heck of a play by X, and the Rams are up 7.
Well, that's a little different since Mount Vernon went with the pass and scored, and then did the pass again with the 2-point conversion. And now we're back on crazy numbers again, 29-22. That's 51 points in this one so far. Go figure this game. About the time you have it figured out in this series, this happens.
And this is another touchdown in the game. 29-22 the score. The Rams up a full 7 now with 7:15 to play. Here in this third quarter, our Schmitz Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show will come upon the completion of this one. We'll talk about this game in full. We'll talk about it again tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Show from 8:08 until 10 o'clock on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. Video at WMIXsports.com, powered by Red Lake College, a nationally ranked community college that can save you thousands. With smaller class sizes and over 100 degree and certificate programs, your journey starts here. Red Lake College. Apply online at rlc.edu.
Mount Vernon able to put some pressure now on the Orphans.
As this will be on the ground. Keyshawn Marshall in the area. No, it's going to get all the way back to Shandon Webster, who will be brought down at about the 32, picked it up at about the 26. And Gage Burrows, who had a big interception earlier, comes up with a great tackle there.
Mount Vernon lucky that time. They broke down considerably on their coverage, and of course that was lucky that Mount Vernon was able to make the tackle on that kickoff.
So now 7:10 left to play here in the third. 1st and 10 for the Orphans. The ball will be on their own 35-yard line between the hashes. They're headed left to right. In this third quarter of play, they trail 29-22 as the Rams got a big touchdown a moment ago, plus a big 2-point conversion. And what a heck of a catch by Xavier Tyus to make that 2-point conversion on a nice fade throw by Dylan Reeves. Orphans will go 2 each side out of the pistol. Matisse Scott still your feature back. Quarterback Williams Jr. is going to throw into the flat. It'll be incomplete as that bounces away.
Yeah.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
That time he drops back and he has to turn. He turns. He's got to throw where his back's facing. And instead of turning the hips and going to it, he kind of turned and kind of slung it and stood still. And that's why it kind of dipped down and went in the ground there short.
Clock stops with 7:07 to go here in the third quarter. 29-22. Rams on top. Pistol for the quarterback Javon Williams Jr. getting the start tonight over quarterback Dawson Berry. Here for Ray Calling, trying to keep the playoffs in mind and trying to get there. They need a win tonight and a win next week. They'll need 6. Back to pass out of the pistol, looking deep down the left side. Is this one going to be complete? Almost picked off by the Rams as Xavier, make that Derek Waith was in on that. Had a great angle, stepped in front of the intended target at the 30. Great play defensively.
When you have speed, you can afford, you can't do it all the time, but if you get beat, you can run yourself back into play. That's what Waith did as Centralia goes on the ball quick. He ran himself back into play after getting beat off the line of scrimmage and almost ran down a pass that was underthrown.
So 7:02 remains here in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 10 after the incomplete pass. 35-yard line is a spot. Again, we're between the hashes. A touchdown separates these two teams, 29-22. Mount Vernon leads Centralia.
One thing you'll see is this freshman will have to work on the offseason for this play, footwork and hip turn. He will have to work on that for accuracy. And we have movement.
I have a feeling they'll have a solution for that.
Yeah. Centralia's center moved the football in the flinch. Yep. I saw it from here.
From
Third penalty on the Orphans.
No doubt. From hoodies to T-shirts, awards, promotional items, koozies to bags, maybe even pink rally towels. Winning Edge can customize just about anything to suit your needs. Stop by and see them at 212 South 9th in Mount Vernon or log on to winningedgeusa.com. They did the WMIX Sports Rally towels that were on sale tonight. $1 only. All proceeds benefited the Susan G. Komen for the Cure Foundation. A lot of pink in the stands tonight. A lot of pink on the field with the black jerseys, pink numerics. 3rd and 15 after the penalty on the false start. Moves it to the 30. 7:02 left, and we're going to have another flag. Or just a play stop.
Timeout, Mount Vernon. I saw Coach Shaner jumping up and down here on the Mount Vernon sideline, and Mount Vernon was not in alignment. They actually looked like some guys were playing zone, some were playing man, and 2 Orphans were free to run, gone, and you could see it starting to set up, and Jared Shaner called the timeout.
How about some Black Diamond stuff tonight?
Johnston City up on Fairfield, 28-14 into 3.
That's amazing. Bird Watson Drug powers all of our scoreboard updates. We'll have more extensive ones throughout the broadcast. But if you're concerned about your Medicare Part D plans, let Bird Watson Drug's pharmacists help you understand your options. Stop in at 12th and Main and 34th and Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon got a break. They got the timeout, kind of like the batter in the batter's box, and the pitcher's already in his windup, and he calls time and gets it. That's kind of what Mount Vernon got here, a home call. Of course, next year in 2015, the Rams will get an opportunity to play at the football field next to the Castle on Calumet, as that will be completed for next season in 2015, as Evers Field will go by the boards.
Yes, sir.
Got a feeling that same grass and turf will be grown over at the new high school facility. The goalposts are up. Some of the construction had been started about a month or 6 weeks ago last time I went by to be nosy and see how it was going.
I have a feeling I'll get a good look at that in late December. As I help, not because that's primary coverage, by any means. 29-22 is your score. Rams leading the Centralia Orphans out of the pistol on 3rd and 15. 2 left, 2 right for the quarterback, freshman Williams. He's looking down line as this one is going to be just out of reach. It looks like Keyshawn Marshall on the dive at the 40. Overthrown to be 4th and 15 with 6:55 left. And the Orphans, a team that don't typically punt, may be forced to do just that.
I'm curious at the fact that Centralia all of a sudden has gone pass heavy. I mean, they've been able to move the ball running the football. Really shocked that the last 2 plays are just go routes down the sideline. I mean, if I'm Centralia, I think at this point you've got to just sit there and go, hey, let's see if we can run the football, not panic. You're only down 7. Stay within your realm of the game plan that you brought into this. You can get some stuff done.
6:55 left to go. 4th and 15 for the Orphans from their own 30. Neubauer's on to punt. I'll believe it when I necessarily. Oh, okay. Neubauer's to punt. There it is. As that'll go well off to the left, and that'll take a Ram bounce out of bounds because it wasn't going to go very far. And it's at about the 48-yard line in their own territory. So the Rams close to midfield here with 6:48 left to go in the 3rd, and that's where they will take over. 1st and 10.
That's a case there where Neubauer heard footsteps, saw shadows, saw big players come at him. He kicked that one as fast as he could, and it didn't get the distance that he probably would have liked. Mount Vernon goes out on this offensive possession as we scan the sideline to see if DMG is there or if he's on the field.
He's taped up, left ankle, and he is on the field as the right wing back with 1st and 10 from the Ram 48. And he is hobbling, and that's not going to be very effective. There's going to be a flag, and that's probably what it's going to be on.
Yeah, he gave it. Yeah, the middle. He gave it a go out there. He cannot do much. Motion on Mount Vernon, 5-yard penalty. They're 5th of the night, and we saw DMG try to go in motion, could not do anything with even the tape on. It looks to me like a high ankle sprain, the way the tape goes way up the ankle, higher than nuts, and he can't even run off the field. He's having to hobble off, so his night may be done.
So that'll push it back 5 yards, and it'll go back to the 43-yard line, and you applaud the effort. You do. You applaud the effort from DeMontez Miller-Gray, and, I mean, that's just guts and courage and the desire to play football on senior night as a senior.
How about this? Speaking of guts, Triad leads Waterloo 21-7 in starting the 4th.
That's amazing.
So you start talking about options.
Yeah.
Because our options are dwindling, I hate to tell you.
1st and 15 here, ball on the 43-yard line. Far hash spot for the Rams. The quarterback reads under center, rushing to replace Miller-Gray, and this is going to be a quarterback keeper. Reese faked the handoff and then trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Does so. Gets a gain of about 6 to bring up 2nd and 9 as he's about the 49-yard line. And for DMG, you hope that he's okay and can give it a go next week because the career rushing record is in tow, but more importantly, just hope the young man's all right.
Looks to me an ankle sprain. He should be okay, but he's over here sitting on the bench. He is probably done for the evening, cannot give it a go. He's got a week to heal up, get some stress or tests and help and stuff and everything else. So we'll see about week 9 at Mount Carmel by the Wabash.
As in motion is Rush on a sweep. He had a big run earlier, 55 yards. Now making for another one as he gets to the 40, 35, pushed out of bounds at about the 33, which is where they'll spot the football on a gain of 17. And Rush has another big game as he's already over the 70-yard mark.
Over the 70-yard mark. And amazing that he's been able to get that far. And he's got two carries, 70 yards. That's not a bad average on the night.
Yards per carry coming into the night was 7.9. with 197 yards on the year.
It's over that.
So now he's over the 250-yard plateau. Had some carries early in the season and somewhat limited, and now is going to see quite a few carries probably the rest of the night as he'll be in motion, Jalen Rush. Inside handoff to Heiner. Heiner will get past the 30 down to about the 29-28 for a gain of 5-ish. It'll be 2nd and 5 with 5:50 left to go here in the third. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. 5 Jefferson County branches, responsive quality service for all of your accounts. Community First Bank, they understand your needs, and they keep it simple. Welcome back to personal banking, member FDIC. Between the hashes, closer to the near hash on the Centralia 28 with 5:26 to play in the third, still 29-22. Rams on top, bunched up this time in the backfield. This is going to be off tackle along that hash to about the 25, using that explosive speed of number 94 for tonight only, Jesse Green.
How?
Players tonight, some have the names of survivors or those battling cancer or those who have unfortunately lost that battle.
Tell you one thing for sure, our golf team will be happy tomorrow, at least 2 of them.
No doubt about that. It's playing in the Mount Vernon Rams. That was not comforting, whatever that was, shaking this booth up here.
That was odd.
Yeah, I know.
That was
89.
I was thinking 89
Yeah.
World Series I watched the other night on 30 for 30.
Al Michaels, I am not, as this is going to be another inside handoff to Jesse Green, who's getting some feature carries now, as he'll lean past the 25 and dive to about the 23. Dangerously close to first down yards. Might be 4th and short. That's the first thing I thought of. That and we're going down.
Well, yeah.
Not where I want to be, I can tell you.
No. That was interesting. I don't know what that was or where that was, but that's
I don't know what it was
shake.
either. But that was a sizable shake for where we are right now. 4:09 to play here. Third quarter action, 29-22 the score. Rams on top with a 4th and 1 from the Centralia 24. Near hash spot, right to left they go. Backs all to the right. It's going to be a pitch to Jesse Green, and he's going to have some issues. He'll have to pick it up. Fumbles it around. It looks like the Orphans may have it. Had enough yards for a first down, but there is a penalty flag. Should still remain with the Orphans.
I think it'll be after the play. I think it'll be fumble Mount Vernon. And at that point, what the flag will be probably on the Orphans.
So we'll see what happens here.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, they're going to go that way against Mount Vernon. So not only does Mount Vernon fumble the football again, it's going to be 15 yards to the Rams and a cool composure. You see what I'm checking out.
15-yard personal foul on the Rams after the play.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see
That's
what
gonna
that
be a
was.
few minutes for that.
That was not a case of fans stomping on the ground.
No.
And unless you were somewhere where you could have felt that, I'm curious. Nothing's showing up yet, but that was weird.
Beyond. Who knows? 3:52 left to go here in the third. 1st and 10 for the Orphans from their own 39. 2 to the left, 2 to the right out of the pistol for the quarterback. Javon Williams Jr., a name we're going to become familiar with over the next 4 years. They fumble the handoff. Williams able to recover, gets to about the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That was one of those vibrations maybe that Centralia got on that one there. They just couldn't pick up the football on the handoff.
Yeah, because I'm jumping up and down kind of from my seat. And
no.
I did not generate anything close to what happened.
There it is again.
Oh.
What is it?
I'll know, but they need to stop.
Mind. Well,
3:23 left to go here. Third quarter action, J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It's 2nd and 9. 29-22 the score.
Yeah.
Rams on top for how much longer? Let's see if they come up with the stop. Yikes.
He can be grounded real quick, too.
2nd and 9. Well, all of us maybe if that's the case. As they will get in there, the Rams defensive line. Brighton Bowers in on the tackle for loss, as that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah. Immaturity is shaking us again.
Well, that was the 2nd time trying to see if he could do it. He was not. He says he was not the first.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
2:49 to play here in the 3rd. It's 3rd and 10 for the Orphans. As they, not sure what's going to happen here. Play clock's at 9. I have a feeling we're going to see a timeout.
2:31 left as a flyover. Nothing showing up on that other one.
Timeout. Centralia.
So now the Orphans take a timeout. It's presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proudly support the Mount Vernon Rams and the local community. 2:26 to play in the 3rd. When we come out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Orphans. The ball on their own 39-yard line. The Rams hoping to maybe bend but not break here on 3rd down. They've had some success lately on the latter downs.
Well, the 2 fumbles that Mount Vernon has had in this quarter has been dastardly unhelpful because, you know, you have this lead, but you don't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel like a 7-point lead. It feels more like a tie game or you're behind. And as crazy as this game has been, if Centralia gets their train rolling here and down the other way for a touchdown, you just do not feel comfortable here in this one, especially with one of your key players on the bench with an injury.
There were 2:26 left. Let's see what the Rams can do. 3rd and 10 for the Orphans on the 39-yard line. Ball is spotted between the hashes with 2:26 to play. 29-22 is the score. The Rams are up a touchdown.
Somebody's listening asked, want to know if you had jalapenos. Senior bucket hat.
Oh,
who
no.
will be on the show tomorrow. We can discuss that.
Back to pass is the quarterback, Williams Jr., and that one somehow complete to Shandon Webster at about the 45, but he'll fumble the football. Gage Burrows has it.
Yep, can play him right out. They spun him around a couple of times because they didn't want to tackle, and all of a sudden Mount Vernon was spinning him around, and because they were spinning him around, he probably lost balance, got a hand in, stripped it out, and it's a recovery on a fumble for the Rams, who will take over at their own 44-yard line.
So I've got to ask, Gage Burrows comes up with a fumble recovery in addition to his interception. Does he make a case to be your Tony Wilt State Farm player of the game?
That was a nice play. Very nice play there for Mount Vernon to force that turnover. And the Rams are in business again going the other way. Senior Buckethead is off tonight, or off quickly listening. His work must be over for the evening.
2:17 to play in the 3rd. Reeves is going to be back to pass. He's looking for Tyus. Oh, almost has him. Left sideline at about the 27. Just slips through his hands as he almost made a phenomenal catch that would have topped the one in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. But as the Rams try to go downfield, we'll see what they do on 2nd and 10 from their own 44. Up 29-22 with 2:12 left in the 3rd.
What a tremendous play call. Just a fade pattern down the sideline. See if you connect on a big play. Keep Centralia. See if they're moping around a little bit and in and out of the hands. Close play.
That's with 2:12 to go. 2nd and 10 for the Rams in motion. Jylen Rush. He's going to sweep it to the near side, and short side of the field, not going to get much, as he'll get maybe about 3 to about the 47 for about 2nd and 7 with less than 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd.
Murfreesboro is going to be in the playoffs for the first time since 1996, leading Benton 57-6 in the 4th quarter as the running clock will be going.
Wow.
Hillsboro beats Litchfield 51-8.
Battle of Monty County.
Yes. It's a nice
Montgomery.
little county.
Yeah, it is.
Been through it a few times.
I was in it for a short while. 3rd and 6. 1:30 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
You were at that gas station again, weren't you?
It's going to be an inside handoff. It'll be midfield for the Rams. Gain of 2 will make it 4th and about 4 as 1:19 to play here in the 3rd quarter. That was a bun in the oven up that way.
Can't believe you just said that.
What, bun in the oven?
Yeah.
1:06 to play in the third, 4th and 2. Make it 4th and 3 for the Rams. The ball is on the 49 in Orphan territory. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Split the left side. It'll be Tyus. On the right, it'll be Waith. Hester, Heiner, and Rush are your backs for the injured DeMontez Miller-Gray. It's going to be Reeves. Going to roll to the right side. Has plenty of running room. As he'll get to the 45. He's at the 40, the 35, and about the 33. Gain of 16 for Dylan on the ground. Clock will stop to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 with 41.8 seconds left to go in the third.
Great start. This drive, a fumble recovery. Mount Vernon moving the football down under 40 seconds to go. Rams score here either now or at the start of that third, fourth quarter. Could be nice business for the Rams here tonight on senior night.
So now the Rams threatening again. Nice 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 from the Orphan 32. 29-22 the score. Split left and right. In motion is going to be Hester, and presumably an inside handoff. This time Jylen Rush runs right off tackle. He gets about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 with 11 seconds to go. We're in the third quarter for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, but not for much longer. 7 seconds on the clock. And the Rams are not going to run a play. They'll be content with switching sides of the field and going left to right. After 3, the Mount Vernon Rams 29. The Centralia Orphans 22. We'll take a break and come back. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
They don't need fancy sales gimmicks or billboards at Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon because it's their reputation for honesty and fairness that make friends tell friends about them. What other buy here, pay here dealership in the area offers you bank rate financing? Second Chance does. You can save up to thousands on the total cost of your vehicle.
Wow.
Not sure if you qualify? That's easy. A 2-minute call to 244-4582 will get you started. Or stop by Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. You won't be disappointed.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Tyler's. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Heading to the fourth quarter, the Mount Vernon Rams lead the Centralia Orphans 29-22. It's Pink Out Night. It's senior night from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, and the Rams trying to keep the Centralia Orphans out of the postseason. Past the top of the 9 o'clock hour, this is WMIX, WMIX FM. Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. So we'll start the fourth quarter. Rams with the football, 2nd and 6, trying to march down the field. They had an impressive 4th down conversion as Dylan Reeves ran to the right for 17 yards, and it set up new life for this Ram team. Then a 4-yard gain by Rush up the gut, and now another Reeves play. Off the option, he'll roll to the left side. Plenty of running room. Breaks to the sideline inside the 20, 15 flag, 10-5, touchdown. But there's a flag at about the 12.
Yep. Looks like a hold.
A second penalty flag comes in on the
That won't be good.
This one's coming in from everywhere on the second one.
Yeah, there's some nastiness going on. Things are getting mean.
So Reeves ran 29 yards for a score, but obviously coming back plus. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. Always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the One account, featuring free checking and high yield interest. Member FDIC.
Yeah, that one's coming back. We'll have to see what's going on here. Johnson City pulling away. 35-14 on the road. And we'll have all kinds of stuff going on here. The officials are going to talk. I think both penalties are on the Rams.
I thought so too.
Yeah, hold and
whatever that was.
Yeah, hold on the Rams. That's declined. Now it's going to be a push in the back. Is that what it is?
I don't think.
No. I thought it was personal foul.
I just thought it was an unsportsmanlike. So I clearly did not see what happened.
That's what I thought it was. The flag's here, but that doesn't matter because it's actually No, the football's in the student body. Okay, so the flag is on the 2. So I don't know if they're going to pick the flag up. Now they're going to start at the 11 where that flag was for the block in the back. This is wrong. They're going to mark off.
Both coaches look perplexed. That's
15.
all I know. I thought it was an unsportsmanlike because the ball was handed. I thought the ball was handed to the student body. I thought that's how this part started.
Okay, so it's automatic. Is it for? What? Was the flag at the flag was at the end of the play? Right. So Ray Calling is over there pointing. Now they're going to okay. Both flags are against Mount Vernon. This makes sense. There were 2 flags, one for 10 for the block, and then a 15-yarder for not being nice. So now the ball will start instead of from about the 10. We'll go back to the Orphan 38 on the unsportsmanlike. So it works out as a 25-yard penalty. Ouch.
So the Rams get a first down, even though it works out to where they get a first down with a loss of yardage.
Yep.
So because of the one after the play. 37-yard line is where the ball will be spotted.
If you can make sense
Far
of that.
hash. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams with 11:51 to play in the 4th quarter. All right, then. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was both penalties were on Mount Vernon. You have to mark them off both that way. I mean, come on. It didn't take much to figure that out. And they're still yakking about it. And you can't blame them.
Rams will have it 1st and 10.
There we go. You get a first down out of it, but it's 2 penalties against Mount Vernon. You had to take both. You don't decline one, not the other. Might have been 3 penalties, to be honest.
11:50 to play in the 4th quarter. 29-22, Rams on top. Reeves is going to get the carry again. Down his own number now. Flick it to Jylan Rush to the near side. He's at the 30, 25. Turns it on to 20, 15, 10. As he's pushed out of bounds at about they're going to spot it at the 12. So that's a gain of 25 for Rush, and he's over near 100 yards on the night.
Pretty good run.
Jylan should be right around 100 or a little over.
You lose DeMontez Miller-Gray to the high ankle sprain, and he comes in. Jylan Rush, and he says, I can do this. What a great option run, move pitch, though, by Reeves. Read it well. Spacing was great. Moved on down the field.
So now we are going to have a timeout, Centralia. This timeout's presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the local community, as well as the Rams and Lady Rams here on WMIX. 29-22, Rams on top with 11:42 to play here in the 4th quarter. It's hard to believe with all of this. It's taken about 20 minutes, it feels like, to play the first 18 seconds of the quarter.
It is an interesting type of game as we have slowed down, and I think you can sense the pressure starting to build on the Orphans because of what is going on and what is happening. And I think they sense the fact that, we're going to be in trouble here. We could be seeing our playoff hopes slip right through it. A lot of teams tonight starting to feel bad, but however, Cahokia has trailed 27-8 at one point. They now trail Althoff 27-24 with 9:35 left in the 4th quarter. What a huge win that would be for Coach Galladay and the Comanches if they could get one in at Althoff tonight.
I would say so. Of course, that turf just playing into the speed of the Comanches. Maybe where they needed to be tonight against a team like the Althoff Crusaders. Of course, Althoff, you assume Althoff has the playoff points to get in with 5 wins.
Oh,
Cahokia know they're going to have.
Yeah.
So with 11:42 to go in the 4th, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams on the Orphan 12. Ball in the near hash. This is going to be Heiner on the inside handoff. He will be shy of the 5 at about the 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 4.
This is the nail, the dagger. If you get a touchdown here, game on. And Mount Vernon may be the one that knocks Centralia out. And there's, of course, in a year where you expected playoffs and didn't get it, this would be nice to have to talk about at the postseason banquet to say, hey, we knocked Centralia out. One of our seniors allowed in our last game. This is a huge drive to go a long way into that.
Split to the left, Tyus on the right, it's Waite. The quarterback Reeves is under center. Heiner, Hester, Rush are your backs. Inside handoff to the senior Heiner. He'll get to maybe the 5. It'll be a gain of about 1 if he did. It'll be 3rd and 3 with 11 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
Benton Rangers eliminated from playoff possibilities tonight. Murfreesboro beats him 57-6. Murphy's in the playoffs for the first time since '96.
You think about the times that Benton needed to beat Murphy to get in.
Yeah.
The past few years, out of the past few years, I'm saying. And
Murphy could beat DuQuoin again next week. They'll host the Indians.
Nice rivalry matchup, 3rd and 3.
Great game over the years.
What a sweep, as that's going to be to Rush. Rush may have just plunged forward into the end zone.
He's not in?
And he is going to be shy at the 1. Rush, actually, you have to give him credit for cutting his corners like that. As he was headed for a sweep to the outside, saw something, was able to cut back, and pretty sound on his ankles is Mr. Jylen Rush.
That's pretty, I mean, that's tight marking of the football there because he fell in the end zone. But Mount Vernon's knocking on the doorstep with 10 to go. If you get up a couple of scores here, the crowd will go wild and everybody will be excited. Mount Vernon can get up 2 scores.
29-22, Rams on top, dropping below the 10-minute mark here. 1st and goal from the 1. Reeves, the quarterback, they're going to go ahead and give Jylen Rush, and he'll hit pay dirt this time.
The referees are fooled.
I think we all sort of were as Reeves comes up hobbling, and it's going to be 35-22. Puts the Rams up 13. The Orphans, though, can be quick downfield, so it'll be up to the Rams defense, who has played well tonight here, especially in the latter 3 quarters.
The defense has stepped up, and because of that, have extended their lead a little bit here. Rush has been an integral part here in the second half when Miller-Gray went out. Good game for him to have. Mount Vernon will have a win as they head to the Wabash. Cannonball.
As they go for 2, and they get it. No, they go for 1. I'm sorry, I was looking down. They fooled me on that one.
Yes, they did. No problem.
I was looking at my papers.
And
caught up in the talk.
Caught up in the talk. Dandy going on in Effingham County. The Hearts lead Mount Zion 37-33 after 3 quarters. And the Rams winning here, this is a huge, huge boost here. You know, you need something, you need some excitement, you need something going on, and this is huge to get this done. And now you're up 2 scores, but if you're Mount Vernon, you need to keep your defense tight and not let any quick scores happen here to let Centralia back into with 1 score. Make them earn it, make them work that clock, because now the clock is the 12th man for Mount Vernon defensively.
Of course, scoreboard updates tonight presented by Bird Watson Drug. If you have questions or concerns about your medications, Bird Watson Drug pharmacists take the time to explain and help you understand all of your medications and prescriptions. One of the advantages to Bird Watson Drug, 2 locations to serve you better in Mount Vernon.
Well, Johnson City's going to win again.
Nice. 9:52 left here. The Rams up 14. It's 36-22. This is going to be an onside kick. Can they get to it? Almost get to it. As the Rams and Orphans fight for it, it was tipped back towards midfield, and the Rams sideline thinks they have it, and the Rams will recover. Wow. It bounces off the man up front as it was a heck of an effort by Riley Madry, the senior, to come up with it, but he tipped it forward. The Rams able to come back and recover, and they catch the Orphans off guard, trying to get this win here tonight.
Oh, that was huge. How about that? Centralia laying down, heads down, concerned, not really worried about the game, and they got caught off guard. And when you want to talk about disappointing, there it was. If you're the Orphans, you may have just saw your playoff hopes go right down the poops. Nashville has 60 points on DuQuoin. Are you kidding me?
It's the last time that happened, ever?
Never.
There you go.
Not in the recollection of 30 years of 40 or following high school football. Woo! Triad beats Waterloo 21-14. That's a huge upset and a hurt to any kind of local game of Friday night ilk.
9:47 left to go here in the fourth quarter. There's a flag. 5 seconds left on the play clock, so I can only imagine. Ball start somehow. I didn't see it, but I wasn't looking for it.
If there's one thing you have to be concerned about, that's a 9th penalty already for the Rams tonight. That's something that you don't normally see out of the Mount Vernon Rams. But you see a little hop and a step down there right now as you see. A little joy.
There's plenty to celebrate here in the King City, as the Rams recover an onside kick and maybe try to get another score here to take a convincing lead over the Centralia Orphans. Split left and right, the quarterback under center. Flexbone offense from Jared Shaner. Sweep to left side, Jalen Rush. He's got speed. He's going to get to midfield. Falls through the defenders. It gets to about the 40. Finally runs out of bounds as the Orphans almost take out the chain gang.
20th first down of the night for the Rams.
And that was a big run by Rush.
17 yards, first down.
So 17 more yards for Jesse Rush, who's got to be about 125 or so for the night. On a night where DeMontez Miller-Gray, who is now
Goes over the 100-yard mark for tonight's game.
So you have Miller-Gray close to 185 or so, 170, 185. Rush is now nearing or over 100. It's been all running. And, you know, don't change the game plan. Keep pounding away at the finesse defense.
Rush in motion again. Rams had it on the far hash. This is going to be a carry right up the gut by Drew Hester, who has 11 yards. Just went up that far hash where the ball was spotted, and now gets 11 on the play to about the 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. 9:30 left to go here in the fourth quarter as they're looking to get the Orphans here tonight.
You are looking at an Orphans team where their daubers are down dragging and leaving marks in the mud.
Tyler's may have 2 new locations, but they're still your best connection for your next automobile. Find them just west of Interstates 57 and 64 in Mount Vernon and worldwide at tylertoyota.net and tylerscars.com. Rams not going to get much on this, maybe a loss of 1 if lucky. Again, that's tylertoyota.net and tylerscars.com.
Well, there you go. Editorial comments, not opinions of ours.
9:05 to play here in the fourth. 36-22 the score. The Rams up a pair of touchdowns. Flag on the play. This is coming back.
Got a feeling it's a hold. Let's see what it is. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Another 15 against Mount Vernon. 10th penalty of the night. And I think that's disturbing because that's the 4th 15-yard penalty for the Rams tonight.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Rams.
Gosh, Greenville won 56-28. Are you kidding me? They scored 56 points. Centralia or DuQuoin's going to be 4-4, and will have to go to Murphy in a must-win situation. Triad put a late score in to win 28-14.
So it'll be 1st and 25 for the Rams back in Orphan territory, or actually almost back in Orphan territory. They were at the 45-yard line in their own territory. As the handoff up the middle to Remington Paris will get inside the 40 to about the 37.
Chester beats El Dorado 20-6.
So it'll be 3rd and 17 now for the Rams with 8:24 to play in the fourth quarter. The Ram lead is 36-22. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home in Dixon, Woodlawn, and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
After this play, I have an answer to your question about DuQuoin points.
Nice. 2nd and 17 is the situation here for the Rams. Reeves looking to keep it himself, running right up the gut. Going to make it an interesting 3rd down. As he gets inside the 30 to about the 27, chips away as it's a gain of about 8, 9, 10.
First time since 1963, DuQuoin has given up 60 points or more in a game. The last time that happened, they lost to Pinckneyville in 1963, 65-12.
Wow. 7:35 to play in the fourth. 36-22 the score.
That's an amazing nugget there.
Yeah, it is. Rams up a pair of touchdowns. 4th and 8 now for the Rams. Split to the left and to the right. Let's see if this onside kick can pay off. Reeves is going to inside handoff to Rush. Rush is going to be short of a first down, it would look like, as he gets to about the 20. Gain of 6, not quite going to be enough, but a heck of an effort by Rush, who's had a big night.
And you can see Centralia sell out on that play. They were, by goodness, going to sell out and going to do what they needed to do to try to stop. And that time there, they did an outstanding job of selling out and stopping Mount Vernon, at least keeping it 2 scores to make it halfway decent.
First and 10 now for the Orphans. They'll take over at the Ram 21-yard line. Ball spotted between the hashes. Back to this pistol offense for the Rams. The quarterback, Javon Williams Jr. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Feature back. Different. No, it's still Matisse Scott. Is this going to be a quarterback carry for Javon Williams Jr. as he gets to about the 24-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 with 7:08 to play.
Althoff leads 27-24 with 5.5 to go, and they have the football as they try to drive Cahokia out of town with a loss.
Yeah, Cahokia needs a win. Althoff is definitely in if they win tonight with 6 wins. Matisse Scott, the back. Quarterback is Javon Williams Jr. out of the pistol. 3 left, 1 to the right. 6:38 to play in the 4th. He's going to drop back the pass. 3-step drop. Completed pass, and that is going to be trouble, as that was the far wide right receiver, as I think that was Dorian Reeves. Reeves had it at about the 45, dove forward. Sorry, that was Shandon Webster on the far side. Ugh, what a gain for Centralia. That was just a bullet off a slant. A little simple post pattern.
Yep, and again, you don't want to give up a big play. I know there's only 6.5 left. You give up a couple big plays and try to get it back, they'll throw an onside kick at you.
6:29 left to go in the 4th quarter. 36-22, Rams on top of the Orphans. Orphans trying to move this football down the field. 1st and 10 from the Ram 42 between the hashes. This is going to be an easy handoff. Matisse Scott, he'll run right up the middle, get about 5 on the play as he gets to about the 37. They'll probably give him 38 to make it 2nd and 6. 6:09 to play in the 4th. The Orphans need a pair of touchdowns, and they can move the football quickly enough to get it.
JC wins 35-20, and the Orphans, I'm surprised they will run there. They got to start moving a little bit. Don't have a lot of time, got a long way to go, down a couple of scores. That run was just to see if something was there, but running plays for them are about done.
4 on the play will bring up a 2nd down and 6.
5:50 to go. Orphans with the football, clock moving, 2nd and 6 out of the pistol, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Pitch will come to the near side. Matisse Scott. Scott's going to be to the 30. Leans forward to about the 28, so a gain of about 10 will make it 1st and 10 for the Orphans. Clock will stop momentarily to move the chains with 5:33 left.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick it up a notch. Needless to say, off the run. Some of the fans leaving early tonight. Effingham starting to pull away from Mount Zion. The Hearts answer back. This is a big time here for Mount Vernon, trying to keep a 2-touchdown lead.
The pistol, Scott in motion over to the right side, looking for the quick slant. That one would be a shoestring catch.
Got it.
As Dorian Reeves comes up with it, completed at about the 15-yard line. Gain of 13 as we'll drop below the 5-minute mark after the chains move.
Sometimes that prevent defense prevents you from winning. You hope Mount Vernon's not being soft enough to allow Centralia enough room to kind of come back in this one. That was pretty easy for them.
We'll look for a Tony Wilt State Farm player of the game. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. Out of the pistol, handoff will be to Matisse Scott. He'll be dragged down by Brighton Bowers and company. At about the 10, it'll be a gain of roughly 4. It'll bring 2nd and 6 with 4:50 to play in the 4th quarter.
Put it down the wrong spot on my stat sheet. Nashville wins 60-42. 102 points in that one over in Washington County west of us.
4:28 remains. Orphans getting some instruction. They'll have the pistol. 5 seconds on the play clock. 4:20 to go on the game clock. 2nd and 7, ball between the hashes. Looking for the quick pass. Ooh, a slant pattern, and Shandon Webster has it. Does he get in? He does, and it's 36-28. Uh-oh. New game.
Williams to Webster, hook up again. It's not quite over yet. You don't feel comfortable. That extra score, boy, how big is that one now after the turnover?
As Neubauer will be on to attempt the PAT here with 4:13 left to play in the 4th.
Yeah, that's huge. Get the extra point here, and
as now here comes a kick, and that was a line drive, and that one snuck over the crossbar. 36-29. Cuts it to 7, 4:13 left, and now if the Orphans can come up with an onside kick or even stop the Rams, they have a case where they could go for a win if they were to score again.
Yeah, and you know they're going to try it. 36-29, that gets us to 65 total points as things start to continue along that way. As you look at the timeout situation, they have one timeout left. You have to, if you're Centralia, you just have to kick the onside kick here. I think one of the most exciting plays in football is the onside kick. And this is what we're going to see here now in this case.
Orphans talking it over on their sideline. The Rams talking it over here near their sideline. 4:13 left to play. Fourth quarter action for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium here on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Rams lead is cut to 36-29. They had an onside kick of their own. Offense stalled a little bit, turned it over on downs, and the Orphans came right down the field with marching orders. And now let's see if they can get this onside kick or if the Rams can stand tough and maybe get something back. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. Jeff Crow is with us, has the video at WMIXsports.com. Hunter Schrader taking care of things on WMIX and WMIX-FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, and all of Southern Illinois. Free services from Withers Broadcasting.
Well, onside kick. The Orphans will spread out.
See where it goes. Who did Neubauer pick? 36-29 the score. The Orphans going to try an onside kick, and this one's going to be a beauty. Can the Orphans get to it, or will the Rams have it? And the Orphans
have it.
Celebrate as if they have it. They do. Shandon Webster will recover. Uh-oh, and that's going to be about the 47-yard line where they will have it 1st and 10 on the far hash. They move right to left, and the Orphans have an opportunity now on the onside kick.
Uh-oh is right. And now you get a stop. Beat me to it. You have to get a stop. You have to get something going. And now the Orphans will make things rather interesting. Mack leads Rochester 38-26 with 6 left. Wow. That's an upset tonight.
Pistol for the Orphans, 3 right, 1 left. Webster, the lone receiver to the left side. And now this is going to be a faked handoff to the right side. Will roll the quarterback, Javon Williams Jr. He has at least 5. Gets past the 45, 44.
How smart is he? Once he got his yardage, and then he went out. Football IQ high for the freshman in a pressure-packed game of rivals here tonight in Mount Vernon.
He'll be a folk hero if he's able to win this, help the Orphans win this game. 3:56 left to go in the fourth quarter. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of high school sports here on WMIX. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home in Mount Vernon, Dix, Woodlawn. And
what do we have now? Referee, head referee's coming over here to talk to a guy, and now we have a powwow near the 50. Steve McCoy's being called in. And they're going to shut off the clocks, I guess. The clock's going to reset to 4:02.
Clock will be reset.
Interesting.
4 minutes and 2 seconds.
Got to give them a lot of credit for paying attention and being all on top of it.
Yeah, they know how big this game is. They don't want any shenanigans going on.
2nd and 6 for the Orphans. The ball in the far hash on the Mount Vernon 44. Rams defense looking to step up here as out of the pistol will come the Orphans. Quarterback has a snap, and it's going to be fumbled as I believe Brighton Bowers was somewhere there in the traffic, and the Rams are going to recover the fumble. Big recovery for the Rams, and here they come. 1st and 10 with 3:56 to play in the fourth.
Get the onside kick, but 2 plays later fumble. And that might seal the victory for the Rams here on senior night.
I'll tell you this, it seems like recovering an onside kick hasn't done anybody any favors tonight.
No.
Rams turned over on downs, Orphans fumbled. Big fumble recovery for the Rams. They'll have it on their own 45. Far hash spot as they go left to right. 3:56 left. 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon, up 36-29. Split to the right, Waith. On the left, it's Tyus. Your backs are Paris, Hester, and Rush. In motion, this is going to be Hester. Hester's going to run right up the gut after a small jet sweep. And now he won't get to midfield, but he'll get 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Couple yards, clock runs.
That's the thing. He runs between the hashes. You don't stop the clock, and You keep the clock moving with the Orphans only having 1 timeout left here in this second half. That's
scoreboard update at the end here, or at the end of the game, will be massive.
Bird Watson Druck, I'm sure, appreciates that. I know I do. Hopefully our listeners and viewers online do as well. Have a big one later on. More than likely, your Schmidt-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. 3:19 left here. The ball spotted between the hashes. 2nd and 7 from the 48. Rams have a touchdown, 36-29. Rush in motion. He will sweep left side. Runs into his own man, but goes past midfield. Dives to about the 47. That'll be a gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Rams as it would drop below the 3-minute mark here in the 4th. And not much the Orphans can do to stop it with only 1 timeout.
Nope. Clock's going to tick a while. Lots of blowouts in a river-to-river night except for one game. Massac and Frankfurt at 14-all with 4 to go.
3rd and 3 for the Rams. The ball on the Centralia 47-yard line. Waith to the right. To the left goes Tyus. Hester, Paris, and Rush are your backs with the quarterback Dylan Reeves working from under center. And now the Rams call a timeout. Play clock was nearing 0, I believe. This timeout's presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams, as well as TMS Mobility and Rehab. So the Rams call a timeout here. Play clock dwindling to almost nothing. They're up a touchdown, 36-29, but it somewhat does the Orphans a bit of a favor.
Time's starting to tick away a little bit here for Centralia. And that fumble there was gut-wrenching because for the Orphans to lose that fumble after gaining the onside kick really hurt their deal. And, you know, with 1 timeout left and Mount Vernon in control, up by 7, this is time where Centralia's got to start gang tackling, stripping the football. They need anything to go to get their way right now. Unfortunately for them, the clock and the time are starting to go away. Marion is your South 7 champs outright, 42-20 over Carbondale. Marion will make the trip to SHG next week to play.
2:30 left to go. 36-29 the score. Rams up a TD over the Orphans. They have 3rd and 3 from the Orphan 47. Far hash spot is the football. Split to the right, it's Waith. On the left, it'll be Xavier Tyus. Dylan Reeves, the QB's under center. Right back is Hester. Left back is Rush. Your fullback is Remington Paris. Sweep to the right side. Now up the middle of 4. Jylan Rush. He's at the 40 between the hashes to the 35. That's a gain of 12. And Jylan Rush is having a heck of a night as he's well over 100 yards here in the second half.
22 first downs, except there's a flag.
12-yard first down run from Jylan.
Well, there's that.
There is that. I'll take the air out of the old sail.
Yeah, he still gets the run.
Yeah. What do they say? Uh-oh. What do we have here?
I don't think they're sure.
Their flag is thrown at the 55, which would be a first down. So we'll see what happens here. Why a flag? Holding on the Rams will eliminate the run. So that'll be another 8 yards. That's their 11th penalty on the night. Sloppy on that side of the night for the Rams. That will need to improve.
3rd down and 10.
AJ up 56-28.
So the run totally erased.
Yeah, on the hold. I didn't see it. Where the flag was middle of the field away from the play. It's one of those you're like, really? You had to call that?
I honestly thought it was unsportsmanlike, which is why I thought the run.
A lot of chit-chat down there in the Zebras tonight.
3rd and 10, and this is going to be a carry by Heiner, who's back in. Goes off tackle. Gets to midfield, and it'll be 4th and 5.
Centralia will... Somebody called timeout. The Orphans.
It has to say. It would be smart of the Orphans here. Brought to you by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 30 on Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams, 2339 Broadway.
Final timeout, as you heard.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show coming up after this one. Who will win? Will the Rams hang on or will the Orphans come back and prevail? 4th and 5, a big 4th down here. It's all presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Well, the Rams will have to punt. You don't want to go for it here in this situation. You don't want to give Centralia a short field. You're going to punt into a decent breeze out of the north, and you have to stay in your lanes. You have to stay careful. You didn't think this one was going to be easy against the Orphans and your arch rival as we play here in a game that means a lot to the Orphans, a lot to the Rams. Massac County and West Frankfort tied at 14 going into overtime.
2:01 to play in the fourth. Out of the timeout, here come the Rams. 4th and 5 from midfield. Ball inside the far hash. Split left and right. Two wing backs and a fullback here for the Rams. The quarterback reads the work from under center. The Orphans put a little pressure in the box. Rams trying to draw Centralia off sides. 12 seconds left on the play clock. 2:01 left on the game clock, and we're going to have timeout Rams.
I was going to say that was an obvious. We're going to try to draw you off sides. Centralia was not biting on that. So that was the end of that.
So it'll be timeout free football the rest of the way, presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams. Also at TMS Mobility and Rehab there at the same location. Ball is at midfield, 4th and 5 for the Rams, 2:01 left. So I wonder what the Rams do here. Good to hear. You can call me Al. Again.
Yeah, don't call anybody Al.
Heard it quite a few times tonight.
Yeah, heard the practice, heard the halftime show. They're going at it again here. Rochester down 3 scores, have cut it down to 38-33 with 2.5 to go, and Carmi beats SVW 43-26, thus ending the Red Devils' hopes of getting to the playoffs.
Red Devils will finish at 4 and 5.
4 and 5
with the bye win next week.
It'll be weird. Their season's done in week 8 because the bye week's next week. Mount Vernon will punt now into the wind. No rush from the Orphans.
As this will be deep, and Burrows is going to give chase, and he'll have to chase it down. Good stop by Burrows at the 10. I don't know.
Go run it. He could have let that go even further down there. The way that angle was, let it roll again.
I think he thought he was going to lose it. So it'll be about the 9. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Orphans. We'll have to go 91 yards at a minute 53 with no timeouts.
Uh-oh. Onside kick coming. Althoff 34. Kokia 32.
Interesting.
Kokia gets a late touchdown. They're going to try for it.
I've seen Cahokia go 80 yards in 20 seconds. So anything is possible.
Yes.
And that was not a kickoff.
That was here.
That was here in 2008.
Stood on those bleachers at yonder. Watch that one. Had a triple header that weekend, a Friday night, a Saturday afternoon, and a Saturday evening game planned out accordingly.
1st and 10.
88 yards to pay dirt. Here we go.
And here comes. This is going to be a pass to Reeves. And the Orphans can't stop the clock. It's completed at about the 15. Gain of about 6, and the Orphans are going to have to hurry. A minute 42 left. It'll be 2nd and 4. Orphans trail 36-29. The Rams defense preventative right now, trying to hang on.
Over the middle short will not work for the Orphans.
They're going to have to go downfield, which is how they've been successful tonight out of the pistol. 2 on each side. Lone back. Looking downfield. Could be overthrown. There's going to be a little bit of hang time there. And that is picked off. The Rams will come up with it at the 45. And on the pickoff, that'll be another interception tonight as Xavier Tyus may have had the biggest of all. And this will seal the win for the Rams.
Threw in the double coverage. Anytime you do that, you're just asking for trouble. And the Rams will hold off and beat the Orphans 36-29. A happy senior night, a happy pink out night. You knock your arch rivals basically out of the playoffs. You get something out of the season here with this win.
1:17 remains in the ball game. The Rams just have to kneel a couple of times. The Orphans have no timeouts left. And the Rams are going to win this one here tonight. They will improve to 3 and 5. The Orphans will drop to 4 and 4.
Mount Vernon will win. That feels good heading into that long bus trip to Mount Carmel.
As the Rams are in victory formation. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Show from 8:08 until 10 o'clock here on AM 940 as well as WMIXsports.com.
Ric Flair here tonight.
No doubt. loaded guest lineup coming your way. We'll talk more than just football.
We've got a little bit of everything tomorrow.
We will talk to Jared Shaner. We'll talk with Mike McKee, I guess, for a final time tomorrow.
Yeah, Mike McKee for one last time as their season is over. As we start going into correspondent mode.
So now victory formation again with 50 seconds left to go in the game. As the Rams will be able to take it down to about 38. 36-29 will end up being your final. As the Rams showed brilliance defensively and just the poise and the angles the defensive secondary took tonight, a defensive backfield I should say, as Graham Hinkins going to come on, injury and all. Corvier Meredith, we'll see more seniors check in and out. As the Rams do have to make a play here. But I think it's especially inspiring to see Graham Hinkin, who of course was injured early in the season as a senior, a star back, star linebacker, get to come in and play it down.
Yep.
And he'll get to close out his Ram career with a win.
Well, that's one of those that's nice to see when you have something able to do that.
Well, the Orphans a little frustrated. Came into the victory formation, but all for naught. The Rams win this one 36-29, and we'll come back to tell you all about it in your Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Everybody standing up, and the Cardinals wrap it up. The Cardinals have won the Eastern Division Crown. There's something in the air. The Cardinals have just won the pennant. The Cardinals out of the series. The Cardinals are National League champions and headed to the World Series. We can go crazy, Aaron. There's something in the air. Let's check for Cardinal baseball on 50,000 watts on today's Hot Country 94.1 WMIX.
There's no other Toyota dealership like it in the region. It's totally techno, chic, and totally new.
Tyler Toyota. Like car heaven.
It's totally brand new.
Totally built for you.
Welcome to Tyler Toyota, the best car and truck buying experience in Southern Illinois. Total.
Totally.
We're celebrating the grand opening. Newly renovated and highly celebrated Tyler Toyota. Totally.
Tyler Toyota.
Are you interested in a career in the culinary arts but can never afford the high cost of cooking school? Red Lake College has a low-cost recipe for success. For as little as $5,500 per year, you can get a quality culinary arts education in your own backyard. That even includes books, tuition, class fees, and supplies. Learn to master domestic fare, pastry, and foreign cuisine in Ina, Illinois. Save thousands on a culinary arts education at Red Lake College. For more information, log on to rlc.edu/culinary arts.
The Medicine Shop in Mount Vernon provides personal health care on a level that no big box chain or mail order service can. That's why Consumer Reports ranked independent drugstores like the Medicine Shop #1 in customer service and satisfaction. I'm pharmacist and owner Eric Black. Did you know that independent pharmacies like the Medicine Shop receive no kickbacks from drug manufacturers? This means that the advice you get from our staff is based only on what's best for your health. Did you also know that we offer access to your medication when you need it? No long waits or hoping that the mailman shows up with your medicine before you run out. We employ local people and pay local taxes, which means a positive economic impact to this community. Finally, we know how busy your life is. That's why we offer free delivery to work or home. Give me a call today and I'll show you how easy it is to switch. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Or give us a call at 242-8776.
Looking for a free checking account that gives you rewards or high interest? Introducing Cha-Ching at People's National Bank. A Visa check card, e-statements, mobile banking, MoneyPass nationwide ATMs, only $100 to open, and you get to choose between cash and cashback. Stop by People's National Bank, visit peoplesnationalbank.com, or give me a call, Monica Wills, 241-6924, for details and qualifications. People's National Bank, your home for the best reward checking on the market. Qualifications and rules apply. Member FDIC.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show starts now.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX. Jeff Crow has the camera for WMIXsports.com. Hunter Schrader back at our Mount Vernon studio. Tonight, the Rams win on senior night. It's pink out night as well, 36-29. is your final score. The Rams improved to 3-5 on the year. The Orphans dropped to 4-4, but for all intents and purposes, no postseason in Centralia.
No, they do not and will not have enough playoff points no matter what they try to do, no matter what they try to get going. And unfortunately for them, they will have to go to Mascoutah next week, play and win, and I know they'll be anticipating, but they just will not have enough points to get into the playoffs based on their early season schedule. Their non-conference schedule is pretty weak, and it's going to cost them here in the long run.
Well, and it will, and we'll talk more about it here on your Schmidt-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some scoring and stats. 36-29, the Rams win it here tonight. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Bird Watson Pharmacists are your trusted healthcare resources. Do you know that you have a choice when choosing your Medicare Part D plan? Hi, I'm Adam Breeze, and I want you to have the freedom to choose a plan that meets your needs using the pharmacy of your choice. Our pharmacists take the time to get to know you, explain your medications, and answer the questions you may have. We will help you understand a plan that fits your current medication list. Starting October 15th, come into Bird Watson Drug at 12th and Main or 34th and Broadway and ask for me or talk to one of our pharmacists about finding the right plan for you. HealthMart, caring for you and about you.
This is Chase with Landers Collision Centers. Because of our recent growth of animal vandalism, we have decided to increase production in our shop. Yes, we've heard and seen it all. From that deer decided to take out the whole side of my car, oh, and he must have flipped over and keyed the other side too, to I swear that gopher popped out of the manhole, took the chain to my bumper and ripped it off, to unlawful amounts of perp dogs being dropped from trees and destroying paint jobs. So you can understand our dilemma, which is why Landers Collision is asking for experienced body repair technicians to come and see us. This is not an apprenticeship position. We are ready to put you to work. Growth of both our Salem and Mount Vernon facilities has required us to reach out to the best techs available for the job. Paid vacation and holidays, plus a 401k plan are just a few of the perks for joining this rapidly growing company. Again, Landers Collision Centers is looking for the best to join the best in collision repair in Southern Illinois. Come see us at 2501 Benton Road in Mount Vernon, or give us a call at 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Watch the Rams online at WMIXsports.com. Powered by Red Lake College.
Welcome back, WMIX, WMIXsports.com, your Schmidt-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. 36-29, the Rams beat the Orphans here tonight on Pink Out Night. It's senior night as well, and Danny Czerwinski alongside. I'm Chris Hugo. Big win for the Rams.
Nice win, big win, and the Rams knock Centralia out of the playoffs. That's one of the finer parts if you're a Rams fan, that you get to knock them out, and it worked out well. And the Rams will be a happy winner. The seniors can say they beat Centralia in their last game. They won on their last official game on this home field and move on down the road next week to Mount Carmel.
That they do, and we have plenty more to talk about. But for the Rams, you know, we talked about the big win. We talked about the disappointment for the Orphans of not getting into the postseason. But for the Rams, you had something to play for tonight. You may not have had the playoffs to play for, but you had a chance to play spoiler, and they showed up and spoiled.
Yep, showed up, spoiled, and that was the end of it. And the Rams did what they wanted to do. I mean, with a non-playoff season after last year, it is frustrating not to get in the playoffs, but you have to battle week by week, and this week was to beat your arch-rival home on senior night. The Rams did that, and now we'll have a happy week of practice as they get ready and enjoy and go to Mount Carmel for one final game in the pads for the seniors.
We owe you a Tony Wilt State Farm Player of the Game. We owe you a Bird Watson Drugs scoreboard. We'll take a break, come back. This is Rams football on the Schmidt-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show from WMIX Sports.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ford Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. Summer is here, hot weather, swimming pools, the lake, baseball games, and it's vacation time. Stop in and talk to one of our friendly, no-pressure salespeople for your next new Ford or Lincoln vehicle. With 0% financing available, a large inventory of new cars and trucks, $0 down, and great rebates, make summertime the time to buy. And we're always in need of nice one-order trade-ins. Great staff, outstanding selection, money-saving rebates creates an excellent time to buy now. Thank you for your past business, and come by and see us at Ford Square for your next great deal at 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where the best never rests.
Hi, this is your local State Farm agent, Tony Will, and proud supporter of the Mount Vernon Rams. Whether you are a new customer or one that has been loyal to State Farm for years, let me take this opportunity to thank you for your business. If you are not currently with State Farm and are looking for someone you can trust to handle your insurance or financial service needs, let me invite you into our office. You will have a local agent you can work with, backed by the industry leader in State Farm. Find us in the phone book, online, or flag the State Farm Jeep down if you have to. However you find us, we look forward to talking to you soon.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Tony Wilt State Farm Player of the Game is next.
Welcome back, your Schmidt-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. 36-29, the Rams win it from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. They are 3-5. The Orphans are 4-4. The Rams close out their conference slate with a mark of 2-3. The Orphans will finish 1-4 in the South 7 Conference tonight. We owe you a Tony Wilt State Farm Player of the Game here tonight. And, of course, like we always do, and it'll be interesting to see it on WMIXsports.com since we put every Player of the Game picture on there now. But the Rams seniors, as we always do, are your players of the game tonight.
That's a great choice. Seniors came out and played hard and did well, and we'll leave here with one final game here at home with a win. And that is an important aspect here in this one, is for those seniors to go out with a win.
Of course, with all of these seniors on the roster, we have a challenge awaiting Avery Barton to get that on WMIXsports.com, but each and every one of them deserves it. Great careers for all of the Rams seniors that gave it all out there on the field tonight, and for the many who did. I mean, we saw so many excel, and we saw the playoff season from a year ago when this crew was juniors. So, I mean, very impressive run for this Rams senior squad. And as a result, they are your Tony Wilt State Farm Player of the Game. Tony Wilt would love to help your family with all their insurance needs. Give them a call. Find them on the web. Get to a better state with State Farm. Even look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. So, big things tonight for your Rams seniors. We'll get a scoreboard update here in just a moment, as that is sponsored by Bird Watson Drug, as we're still awaiting, I believe, one final score. As we're about to get that, so we'll get that.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Oh,
I'm just cheating away. I didn't know if you wanted stats first and a break, or how we were going to go, because as things start coming in. So, what would you like to do?
Let's go ahead and give our scores if they are ready.
All right, here we go. Best I can find. South 7 tonight. We'll start there. Mount Vernon beats Centralia 36-29. Cahokia loses to Altoff on the road 34-32, and Marion beats Carbondale 42-20. All the home teams win tonight in the South 7. Black Diamond tonight. Carmi over SVWW 43-26. Chester over El Dorado 20-6, and JC beats Fairfield 35-20. Mount Carmel led Boonville, Indiana 28-7 at the end of 3 quarters. That's the last update we had. Now it gets crazy. Alton beats Collinsville 29-6. We're going to jump around the state everywhere, so just hang on right now. Civic beat Jersey 41-28, and Roxana beat Staunton 34-18. Salem gets their first win of the year, beating Charleston 26-9. So the Wildcats in their losing streak, 26-9. Mount Zion loses at Effingham. The Hearts win 44-41. That's a team to look out for in 4A. At the end of 3 quarters, Highland leads Mascoutah 52-26. Triad holds on to beat Waterloo 28-14 on the road. That's an impressive win for the Knights. Breeze Central beat Westland 42-6. Then over in the Metro East some more. Columbia beats Redbud 38-15. As Columbia goes on, the Eagles win the Cahokia Conference. Freeburg over DuPont 62-19. In the LIC tonight, it was Flora over Edwards County 20-18. River to River. DuQuoin loses to Nashville 60-42 as the Indians give up over 60 points for the first time since 1963. Carterville beats Pinckneyville 58-28. AJ beats Sparta 56-36. Heron over Harrisburg. Heron wins the Ohio Division 63-21. Murphy beats Benton 57-6. Murphy goes to the playoffs for the first time since '96. And Frankfort and Massac County are tied at 22, heading into double overtime. We head to the South Central Conference. Hillsboro over Litchfield 51-8. Greenville beat Gillespie 56-28. And Pana beat Vandalia 34-28. Taylorville has defeated Mattoon tonight 31-14 as we add that score into the middle part of the state. Now we'll go back to the middle part of the state for some scores of teams that we need to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. Sullivan over Moweaqua Central A&M 27-20. Nokomis beat Mount Olive 40-6. Tolono Unity beats St. Joe Ogden tonight 35-7. Tuscola over Warrensburg Latham 31-20. Jacksonville beats Lincoln 63-14. Lanphier beats Springfield 42-35. Quincy Notre Dame beats Monmouth Roseville 34-12. Decatur MacArthur upsets number 1 Rochester 38-33. And back to the LIC over to our east, Lawrenceville beat Red Hill 41-6. And Toledo Cumberland beat Martinsville 30-6.
That's what I call a scoreboard.
I don't mess with just 3 conferences. I go get everybody when it gets this time of year.
Bird Watson Drug.
Oh, DMAC, get
Keep
this.
going.
DMAC, Deer Creek Mackinac, beat the Fisher Bunnies tonight 62-50.
What else we got?
I was my score of the night. Galesburg beat Quincy 35-28 in the big boy games up north.
Nice.
So there you go. That's a lot. That's what I have right now. A lot of games of interest. You can't stay in the 3 conferences down here. You got to spread out and get everybody because depending on how they divide things up, you can see anybody anywhere.
Nice. If you're looking for a new home for your prescriptions, Bird Watson Drug gives you the personal service and attention you deserve. They are honoring and recognizing all the sponsors of the Pink Out jerseys tonight. Getting close to ours, we will not make it down there to accept the 94 in memory of W. Russell Withers Jr., who passed away on January 24th of this year. But have to thank Jared Shaner and, of course, Julie Hayes as well. But there is no number 94 on the Mount Vernon Rams football team this year, and they helped make it possible for somebody to wear number 94 in Russell's honor, and that player is Jesse Green, and we are certainly appreciative of him for doing that. So, with that said, the Rams close their home slate tonight. They win 36-29 over the Centralia Orphans. The Orphans are now out of the postseason. They have a 4-4 mark heading to Mascoutah next week. The Rams will take their 3-5 mark heading to Mount Carmel. That'll be an interesting one in the Snake Pit next week.
Very interesting. I mean, you feel like that Mount Vernon may have a chance, even though it's a tough place to play. It didn't go well 2 years ago, but you hope maybe that Mount Vernon might have a chance to win that game and maybe get to 4-5 and have a good end of the season, hopefully. And we shall see. We shall see what happens next week. We enjoy a trip to Mount Carmel, get to visit our friends from Wing, our sister station, and you know, that's a good trip and a good time, and we look forward to it, but hopefully the Rams will get a win in a very tough place to play.
Well, that's a Mount Carmel team that has had some success against the Big 8 Conference thus far this season, and it'll be interesting to see how the Rams fare on the road to the Snake Pit for the Centralia Orphans. They were hoping to come in here tonight, of course, get a win, and then head to Mascoutah next week and do the same, but Mascoutah, a tough bunch, much improved this year as well.
Mascoutah's tough, and I don't want to mean the bearer of bad news, but the Orphans losing tonight, 5 wins is not going to do them any good. And again, another quick start. Whoa! Frankfort beats Massac County 28-22 in double overtime.
Wow! Ryan
Berry gets another win there at home. Highland beats Mascoutah 59-39. To add that on to other scores from the Valley, Centralia did their games. You know, Salem won their first game tonight, gives them a point. East Alton Wood River lost tonight, will forfeit next week for lack of players. Charleston loses tonight. Carbondale loses tonight. Cahokia loses tonight. You know, you don't have that opportunity to get points. And again, It's one of those things where
Russell Withers Jr.
we'll let that play.
You won't be able to hear it over the
method
of broadcast.
And you can hear as you go through. Tough place to play next weekend. Mount Vernon definitely being underdog. Possibly could happen, but that's a possibility. Mount Carmel will be ready. They're going to want to win to improve their seeding. Centralia will go to Mascoutah. 5's not going to be enough.
5's not going to be enough, and that's going to be enough for us tonight on your Schmitz-Chevrolet Cadillac postgame show. Special pink out night. They're announcing everybody right now, and we'll go meet with Jesse Green here in just a moment, get our picture taken and whatnot at WMIX Sports. But very privileged to have been a part of the pink out night tonight, privileged to be a part of each and every broadcast every week. For Danny Czerwinski, for Jeff Crow, for Hunter Schrader, for all of us at WMIX Sports, thank you for supporting the Rally Talent for tonight, and thank you for accessing our broadcast. I'm Chris Hugo, reminding you of the final score. The Mount Vernon Rams 36, the Centralia Orphans 29. That's going to do it for us tonight. We're back on the air tomorrow with the Saturday Sports Show, 8:08 until 10 o'clock, AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. And then Friday night, we head to Mount Carmel. Remember, audio only on WMIXsports.com, but back on 94.1 FM and AM 940. Until then, so long.
Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports is sponsored